Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Hey, we're live. Can everyone hear us good?
Take that as a
Hello.
yes.
We'll take that as a yes. We're there behind. Let's just keep talking. Go ahead, Alan.
Good evening, Megalopolis. Union strike broken up by broken powers. Are you a heartless scab or do you support the union?
Scabbers.
Yeah. Woo.
That's really what
Fantastic.
this story is about.
There you go.
All right, I am your
That
host,
one.
Alan. And we have Hannah,
Hello, friends. Welcome back.
Jacob, Michael,
Yo.
and Nick.
Toodaloo.
Oh boy, oh boy.
We've done it.
We've done it.
Arc 2.
Arc
Hope everybody's
2.
buckled in.
Yeah. After
There's
Arc
snacks
1,
and drinkies.
we've all got our drinkies. I know there's a London fog in chat, at least.
I've got peppermint tea and water because hydrate or dehydrate.
Ooh, what are you drinking, Jacob?
Oh, nothing special.
Little-
Just a little orange cream Coke Zero.
Ooh,
An interesting
Actually,
flavor.
really
that
good.
sounds good.
I actually really love the orange
Oh.
cream Cokes. They're really good.
I've not had that yet,
Yeah.
and they have it in
It's
Coke
pretty
Zero.
good.
That's good to know. I gotta keep
Yeah.
an eye out.
I myself
For
am
all you-
doing a David Rio's power chai.
Mm.
Ooh, a
Mm.
power chai. Don't those
I-
have espresso in them, Alan?
It's got matcha.
Yeah, you're gonna be up.
I've got.
You're gonna be up.
Alan's gonna be up late.
I gotta
tonight.
have that podcast juice.
Oh no.
I've got the
Okay.
Coke and the
Also-
whiskey, so we're all
Coke
set.
and with
And
are
the
they,
whiskey.
are they mixed
Is there
together?
No.
Kahlua in this as
Nope.
well?
They're
Maybe.
separate.
Yeah.
Solid.
Separate.
That's the make the Jack and Coke in your mouth drink there, Michael.
Separate but equal for
Oh,
sure. Yeah.
Yep. It costs less if you
Oh,
buy them
man.
separately. Nick, what were you
Like,
drinking?
I feel, I have decaf coffee because I don't want to stay up late. With a
God, we're so
sprinkling of
old.
salt in it to take out the bitterness. And yes, we are.
Did you say you put salt in your decaf coffee?
Yes,
That makes it
you put
less
a little bit
bitter?
of salt in the coffee grounds
Yeah.
as you brew it, and it makes it
Oh, as
makes it
it's
a little bit less
brewed.
bitter.
I've heard that.
Yeah, as it's
Oh.
brewed.
Yes.
I like that.
Because
That sounds interesting.
I made the mistake of buying Starbucks decaf coffee, and it isn't great. I'll be honest. Yeah. So
Okay.
you gotta do what
To
you can to
start
make it better.
off of Bernard Coe in chat. If we suddenly lost caffeine, who do you think would be the most likely to trigger due to that on
from
this
our group?
podcast?
I,
Yeah.
Nick.
It's
Nick?
Nick.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's
it's
100% Nick.
Listen, I have at least 3 cups of coffee a day, regular caffeine.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I would
Yeah.
love to hear in comments or
Yeah.
later in the YouTube comments, not just live, what Nick's trigger and power would be. Like what classification
From not
you'd
having
get
caffeine.
from not having caffeine.
Oh,
Let me tell you,
no.
I can relate to those people because not getting caffeine gives me a splitting headache.
No.
Is that just
Signs
sleeper?
you should cut
Yeah.
back.
I'm definitely getting like a stranger power, but it's like
Yeah,
total isolation from everyone and everything going on.
I was
around
thinking
you.
like a breaker power where I just start vibrating at intense speeds.
going into my caffeine state.
Yeah. 2 + 4 × 5 says, has anyone tried putting ground up Cinnamon Toast Crunch into coffee grounds? I have not, but let me tell you, I'm down for anything once.
I once
Yeah,
watched
I'll
you guys
try it.
smoke the marshmallows from Lucky Charms.
There you
You take
Oh.
milk and you put it in the cereal, and then you let it sit for a little bit, and then you scoop out all the cereal, or I suppose you could eat it, or you throw it out once it's all mushy, and you use the milk as a latte base.
Ah, there you go. There you go. That's clever.
I've used ice cream as a
Grounds.
base before.
Well, I
Which
mean,
is also
that's
good.
delicious.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's just an affogato. Which
Yeah.
if
I
you
don't
have
feel
heard
like
the
say that
origin
anymore.
Have you heard the origin for the name of the
The
Nice.
avocado.
the origin for the name of the
Isn't that
espresso
a-
and ice cream affogato?
Oh, I thought that's like
I
a
mean,
duck.
one
No.
I heard
one
it
day
once.
the
but
Italian
avocado.
barista woke up and was like, "Oh no, I forgot
No.
a cream."
No!
Oh,
No!
Hey, that's great.
Is it though? Okay.
See, I knew it wasn't
Damn it.
Italian because your hands weren't
God.
talking.
Damn it.
Uh,
Damn it.
well, I
I'm
don't
all
know if
wired
that's
up
part of the
too.
bingo.
It's hard
I
to
don't
get
know.
my
If,
hands up.
I doubt that was part of our bingo card, but in the description we have the bingo card that Alan has prepared. So if you want to play
That
with
is
us,
true. Let's get the important stuff out of the way. No spoilers in chat. We are going along chapter by chapter, trying to figure this out. I am the only second time reader round, and the rest of these are first time readers. So we're going to keep it light with spoilers, and by light I mean not at all. And there is a bingo card, however, and if you'd like to contribute to that bingo card every week, you should become a patron. We have $1 tier, right? $1,
Yep.
lowest tier.
Mhm.
And you can join in contributing to the bingo card. The more things we have, the bigger the bingo card can be.
And the
The
spoilers
more
chat.
fun it is to play. Yeah.
Yes, there's a spoilers
and a
chat. I
spoilers
have that
chat.
chat muted because I don't want to know.
Mhm.
I do not because
Wait,
it's
so our
fun.
patrons are coming up with what we're gonna say?
There most of these are patron
Oh, that's awesome.
submitted. So
That is amazing.
that's
I have
great.
some that I
That's
put
cool.
in when I was reading. I'm like, oh yeah, this is definitely going to be a thing. But
That's
yeah,
fun.
most of these are patrons.
Yeah.
So
But thanks for
that's spoilers.
thanks for being here. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
all for being here.
Thanks,
Also, for us, let's see. We went over that. We went over the bingo. There's a bingo card link in chat, or in the description for the video, so play along. Otherwise, Arc 2, initial thoughts, especially after Arc 1 kind of being a big setup.
Oh,
It felt like we were back in it. There was a couple moments here where I almost forgot that I wasn't reading like Taylor's perspective because it just felt so familiar. I was like, okay, here we go. Big old classic tragedy arc where everything goes wrong. And then we get our fun Yamada chapters. Yamada.
yeah.
It just felt comfy in a dark way.
Yeah, it felt familiar in that sense. I will say personally, so far Ward feels, and it might just be misremembering the beginning of Worm, but Ward feels a lot slower than Worm in terms of the pacing. And I don't know if that was intentional on Wild Bow's part, or if it's going to speed up in Arc 3 and 4, and move faster. But generally, it feels like there's a lot more downtime. And obviously, there's a lot more passing of time, right? Like Victoria mentions, a week has passed since the event, or a week and a half, or whatever it was. Meets with Jessica a couple weeks later. She's with the therapy group. So it's like, it feels like there's more time passing. It's a lot more natural. Whereas with Worm, you get into it and you're just going like 100 miles an hour and you have very few breaks. So I think in a way I kind of like that. I like that it's a bit of a slower build. So
I feel like it hasn't found its pace yet, to me personally. There are sections where I find myself skimming, and there are sections where I'm like my eyes are reading too fast and I have to slow down because I'm like, what happens next? So I don't feel like we technically have a pace yet that I'm like comfortable in just yet. But we're only in Arc 2, so Yeah,
it is interesting how, like, I guess I agree because I was looking at the chapter summaries you put in our little chat here, Nick, and I was like, wait a minute, I forgot. I was thinking the first couple chapters happened at the end of Arc 1, just because of when I read these. Because the arc it is funny. You get like these first couple chapters, it's kind of calm and nice, and then we get the big whole broken trigger chapters, which is just totally different. And then again we switch we switch back to like therapy chapters. So it is a bit of a little whiplash kind of reading through it, but it'll find its pace. I'm not worried.
Yeah. I do agree with Bernard in chat. He said the action is still fast paced, and I think that's true. The action chapters were very. Was it just one chapter the broke, or was two? Right, the broken triggers.
It's like two, I think.
It
Like
starts
1.5.
one-
maybe?
Starts at the end of one, and then it is just one chapter though.
Yep.
So yeah, the action is still very quick, and very exciting, like very fast paced, which I really liked. For action, it's kind of a fun. It kind of makes like a fun little parabola, with the arc where it's like a little slow. Ooh, action. Ooh, okay, back to slow.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Can I interject real quick and have Hannah move the mic closer to herself?
Most assuredly.
Hey.
Absolutely.
I don't know if it's coming through. We're close to a cat on screen. Close, not yet, but my cat has dragged her little toy over and has been squeaking noisily underneath my desk.
Is that just like the free space on the bingo card?
Yeah.
Right?
It basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. One's going to show up. We know that. We just don't know when.
Yeah.
The other one that didn't get added as a free space this time around is Yamada. Just, and we did come out of the gate immedially with
We
that.
did. We really did.
Yeah, that's
yeah. I mean, yeah,
she's great. We'll get there. She'll have her
is.
time in the sun here.
Yeah. Y'all know me. I love downtime. Oh, sorry. Go for it, Nick.
No. Yeah, downtime's good. I was just gonna say, like I've said in the past, I'd love a superhero novel with two characters just like Mr. Kaye and Mrs. Yamada, just a therapist and a lawyer, just dealing with the different aspects of superhero worlds that aren't.
I was literally. Have you guys seen Shrinking on? I think it's Apple TV.
Not yet.
Apple HBO. It's an excellent show, but it's about a couple of therapists. It's the whole premise of the show. And all I was thinking reading this arc was like, man, Shrinking is fantastic, great show. Everyone should watch it. But the whole time I was like, that show would be so much better if their patients were just superheroes.
Yeah.
Same exact show, nothing changes. It's just the day in the life of a couple of therapists, but they're just superheroes.
As long as we're going on tangents like that, I believe the people who made Wolf Among Us, I forgot, name escapes me, Telltale. I believe they are back in business and they are making another Telltale game, but it is about a normal person at a superhero call center. They take the calls and assign the superheroes to the emergencies.
Oh, that's fun.
Great.
I saw the commercial.
So, like,
for
on
that.
one
It looks
great idea.
awesome. The commercial looks amazing.
It looks so good, and that's all I want. That's all I want to watch is that person in the office. I don't care about the superheroes.
It's actually
like,
it's Mega Man, isn't it? It's Mega Man, but he's lost his suit and now he has to work in a call center. That's the actual.
That might be true. That might be true. That he's
phenomenal.
like out of. He's
Mega Man.
Yeah.
Dispatch. Yes.
It looks pretty great.
Dispatch.
Yes.
Thank you. Not so certain. I'm. Every bit of that, every part of that.
Also,
I'm down for.
It's not even a show, Alan. It's a game, but the trailer made it.
It's
okay.
It's the Telltale series.
I thought you were talking. Yeah.
I mean, Telltale games are basically half show, half game anyway. Like
the trailer made me think it was a show till the very end. I was like, "What? It's a game?"
I'd still watch it if it were a show.
I know. I was a little disappointed. I wanted a show, but yeah.
I'll play that.
But yeah, you know me. I love downtime. So in Ward, I love all the the mundane. I love the mundane and wacky worlds. So this is why I love Ward right here. Yeah. But Nick, you wrote down.
Shall we get in?
Would you like to kick us off?
I did. I grabbed them. Thanks to, I think Chicken Guru is the one who did a lot of the Ward ones. As well as who is it? Something Rick.
Rid Tom? Is it not Rid Tom?
Steam Rick.
Steam Rick. Yeah, Steam Rick. With some help this time with Ward from Chicken Guru. But yeah, just wanted to give credit where credit's due for the summaries. So Arc 2, Flare 2.1. Which I do gotta say, just as a quick aside, just like we had some bug-themed chapter and arc names, I appreciate the light themed names so far. I've just been. I see you, John McCrae. All right, Flare 2.1. Vicky and Crystal make breakfast and go on heroic job hunting for Vicky. Foresight gets negative thinker results, Azure just wants Amy. Fallen encounter ruins chances with the attendant. Yeah, not a good run of interviews for Victoria,
Not great.
unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was
We've all been there.
Yeah.
feeling for her.
We've all
real
been
hard.
there. That hurts.
Yeah.
It sucks because like she's so great and she's gone through so much, and it feels like any team would be lucky to have Victoria, and they're all just poopy buttholes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Poopy Buttholes even.
I was gonna make the
Yeah.
same joke. Where's my stuffed animal, Mr. Poopy Buttholes, up there on the shelf.
Ah
Are you going to get him?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Get him, Michael.
Yeah, I feel like the only one that was missing is where there he is.
Oh my God. All right, Michael, that's how you have to be represented on the podcast now.
So quickly. Oh no.
Oh, that's
He's my
great.
favorite man.
That
Fantastic.
actually scared
That's
the
amazing.
shit out of me.
He's the best.
Oh, he got me so
Yep.
good.
Oh man,
Ooh-wee.
that's good.
Uh,
Yeah, I feel like the only bad interview type that Victoria missed out on was the one where it's like you think they're so excited to have you, and then like halfway through the interview you realize it's just a pyramid scheme.
damn it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Victoria, in fact, if you can recruit 2 other heroes to join our team.
Yeah.
We'll
We'd love
make
to have
a
you on board.
Premium member.
Just an entry fee of $49.95.
I felt
We'll
like
send
that
all the
vibe
product
was
right
there.
to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt like that vibe was with the Azor being like, well, really, we just kind of want Amy. You're like,
Yeah,
motherfucker, I'm not working with that bitch. Oh,
You're like
that
Amy
would
and
make me mad.
Yes.
That would make me mad.
Yeah, and the whole like you're an attractive young woman, like you'll do well, like,
Gross.
yeah,
Gross.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, rough chapter for sure, definitely. And I guess it's a question of how much do people know. It seems like not many people know what happened to Amy, or not to Amy, to Victoria.
Mhm.
Or at least it's not explicit. But yeah, it's not great.
How do we feel
Yeah,
about the new
unfortunately.
heroes or the hero teams?
A lot of names, a lot of powers.
It is a lot
Trying
of names.
so hard to track everything.
I'm all
Yeah.
here for the quasi-military capes. Like
I do really enjoy
Was that
the very
Yeah,
and obviously we'll get into
PRTCJ, whatever
Yep.
that one is.
Yeah. Crystal's part
Um,
of that group, right?
mhm.
Yeah.
there's definitely a strong vibe in the air that capes are moving more paramilitary than like local law enforcement, especially as we'll get in later chapters, obviously towards the end and the interlude and that kind of thing. But like, it's an interesting shift in like cape perspective. It feels like, especially with terminology, like were watchdogs really a group in Worm? Like, was that
Yes.
term thrown around a lot? I couldn't remember.
No,
yes,
It wasn't thrown around a
around
lot.
not-
They were mentioned.
one
Yeah.
time, and it's because
Okay.
I think one time it's because Accord worked for them.
Right.
Was
Yeah,
it
yeah.
a core?
Right.
That
No,
makes
they were the
sense.
financial group that tracked all the finances across the world,
Right.
made sure to
That
make
was
sure
I
they
thought
would,
it was. I thought it was also
the economy of the
mentioned.
world didn't collapse.
The world economy. They keep track of elections and
Number Man worked for them as well.
He also yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that would make
I
sense.
thought it was mentioned again when we had that interlude with Fuckface McGee who broke Stole Dragon.
Saint.
Saint. Yeah, I thought it was mentioned there because when they're talking about no, it's Saint. It's when they're talking about basically how they were like Robin Hooding people for a while all over the world. And I feel like Watchdog was mentioned in that interlude. But again, very briefly.
been,
maybe.
my point being.
Maybe. It's hard to know.
Yeah, all that to say, the terminology feels more militaristic to start here, which is
Yeah, for sure. Well, and even like what the attendants are doing, they're watching the portal, they're using thinkers to observe. It's very, and even, jumping to the interlude a bit, watching the trains and making sure no contraband gets, it does feel a lot more like paramilitary, or at least more like SWAT team level police rather than just police officers.
Yeah. I mean, it's the FBI, monitoring all the weird things and probably rarely ever kicking the door down themselves. They probably send the proctorate to do that. Protectorate.
The proctorate.
Next bingo card. Alan says proctorate.
Alan says proctorate.
That's a separate bingo card where we each have something we're constantly mispronouncing. And just
there you go.
Check it off.
But the Fallen encounter is kind of interesting. Just as a note of, again, you've got these groups that still exist, like the Fallen, that are still trying to recruit, but it's sort of it's hard to tell if they are the same as they were before, right? They're like, hey, we're recruiting for the Fallen. Yes. Like, yeah, we predicted the end of the world. You should join us. We know what's going on. They kind of have that interesting sort of clout there. I don't know. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. 2+ added Watchdog was mentioned twice in Worm. In Arc 23, Pretender killed the government thinker that was looking into if the Vegas capes were Cauldron. Which I'm guessing is... Yeah, and then they were consulted when Echidna happened, and they all gave their assessments on how serious the situation was. That's right, and they were like, it's a threat assessment. Like, could be an A to an S. We'll say A. And, Taylor's like, it's an S!
It's an S!
Like,
yeah, definitely an S.
Also, I have a question. Beefaroni asked this, and I tried to Google it, and I couldn't find the answer, and then I started wondering if maybe I shouldn't Google it too much. What does the CJ and PRTCJ stand for?
It hasn't been said yet. My guess would be, like, my first thought was criminal justice, which doesn't really make sense for paramilitary, but, we'll see. I think,
Yeah, because
we'll
PRT is Parahuman Response Team, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Cape something. Cape
Justice. Cape
jurisdiction. Hold on. Wrong answers only.
Yeah. Children junkies.
Crushed jugulars.
Crushed jugulars. Yeah.
Canned juice.
Canned juice.
Canned juice.
Open up a can of whoop juice.
Free ready tea of canned juice. PRTCJ.
Cape
job.
2+4 says Cape job.
No.
I've gotten a Cape job before.
No.
Oh no.
Every Tuesday night. Every other Tuesday night.
Listen, that's a cross-genre kind of job, Could be superheroes, could be witches and fantasy, so many capes in the universe.
I just got the bad kind of shiver that makes you like, oh no.
In desperate need of like an Edna mode gif. Just no capes.
No capes.
No capes.
I'm sure we'll use that.
I don't know. Yeah, very good.
Moving on.
Very good.
Quick, save us.
Let's
next
refocus,
chapter.
please.
You're such a cliche when they're bopping around the apartment. Classic Brute. He's like just rummaging through everything.
Oh, breaks the drawer too. Like that's actually hilarious.
It reminds me of Sky High, where the dad breaks the phone, and then opens up the drawer, and there's like 5 more phones in there. And he breaks... Classic Brute.
There you go. All right, 2.2.
Oh, we already
sorry.
We didn't want to talk about the Game Boy E-reader?
About what would you say?
The what?
They talk about like, oh, I used to have your card, and she was like, oh, which card of mine?
Oh,
yeah.
Is it the holographic one?
Right.
Non-holographic one had the strip that you could scan into the little device, and it unlocked my character, and that's what the Game Boy E-reader was. For those of you who played Pokemon or something. Um,
Gosh.
Another thing I need is Cape Con. Absolutely, I need a whole episode on
absolutely.
Cape Con. Yeah.
How
Mm.
aware she is of all of their drips, because as we know, she looked at superhero fashion and is very aware every time we get a superhero. Like, is it a
Mhm.
shitty outfit? Is it a good outfit? What's their like design? What are they trying to say? And then
Yeah.
on that note, it describes Whirl, and I might be, a little off. Is like red shirt, little tight, white pants, some yellow thrown in there, maybe like a silver mask. And I started to put together: is Whirl just dressed as Peacemaker?
I don't know enough
it-
about what Peacemaker wears.
John Cena plays.
kind of.
I know the character. I don't know what he's wearing.
You mean the leader of the Shepherds, Worrell?
Yeah.
Blue
I don't know what
mask
his
with a white border around the eyes, as well as
That's
a
funny.
preppy bodysuit.
The
The
helmet's a
folded
little
collar
different.
and
Preppy.
leggings.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, but
very
honestly,
close.
it does. It's
Pretty
it's
close.
not bad. It's close. That's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny.
And then
Got the
let's see.
collar.
I hate that she didn't get the job, but man, do I wish we had more people getting like mind read evals and for important positions.
Yeah, really, right. Sorry, you didn't
Yeah.
pass our
Kinda vital.
thinker test.
Yeah.
Just like as
Yeah.
you're walking in.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the real psychological evaluation, right? Is like, well, yeah, we read your mind, and sorry, not for us.
I would be very okay with that being more of a thing, specifically
like-
for positions of authority and people, like
Yeah.
capes.
Yeah.
If it meant I didn't have to submit my resume like 4 times for a job, then yes.
Oh God,
Oh
yes,
my god,
please.
I hate that.
We just need you to walk by this room. You just
Yeah.
show up. You just walk by.
Walk this long hallway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Done.
If
Uh,
it's just a hallway with a bunch of lights in front of closed doors. It's like, all right, if you get to the end of the hallway, 8 out of 10 of the lights are green, we'll hire you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do you,
Yeah.
That'd be
do
interesting.
you think that Victoria describes, and I'm going with
Just saw that.
outfits, like Taylor, where she
Yeah.
describes the cape? In this one, she says she describes the fashion of capes that she likes very well, but not those of those that she hates from Bernard.
Uh-huh. This was something I noticed. We talked about this a little bit back in Worm, specifically when Imp first shows up, and
As
the
Aisha.
description as Aisha. Yes, so Aisha when she's meeting her for the first time, like the description is really not great, and we all kind of like talked about it. I remember, and in the end, we were like, well, Taylor's being a judgy bitch, and this is Taylor talking. Not necessarily Wild Bow being a judgy bitch. This is Taylor being a judgy bitch. I'm not gonna lie, Victoria's doing the exact same thing, and I was like, not quite to that extent, but it's giving the same kind of energy. And once it's a character flaw, twice I would not lean towards character flaw anymore. I would lean towards author
Choice.
Yeah.
Yes, thank
It's a
you. I
choice,
was gonna
and
say
I
author
like it.
flaw, but author choice. It's just so judgy. I don't know. I don't think
I don't even think it's like. I mean, it is judgy because
it's so judgy.
She's been in the cape world. She's seen a lot of outfits. She knows when you ordered that outfit on Temu, and she knows when you got it, bespoke. Like, come on.
It's true. I mean, listen, not everybody can have a handmade spider silk.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Like Taylor was judgy not on people's outfits. It was judgy just about like people and yes, their clothing in like normal life. She was a judgy bitch, and maybe that was just poor writing. I absolutely agree to that. Victoria, this is a conscious choice, and I don't think it's a flaw. I think she's just very aware of outfits because that was something she did with her family.
Yeah. It makes sense to be a little
I don't
judgy.
know.
Taylor was a mean girl, and Victoria is a Kardashian, essentially.
We'll go with that.
That's fair. That's fair.
That tracks
Similar,
actually.
but
That really
different.
does track.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Fran Vol said in chat, Taylor focused a bit more on their body features, whereas Victoria seems to be focusing more on their
That's very
clothing.
true.
So,
That is
That
true.
is very true.
which
That is
you
very
know,
true.
clothing is a bit more of an external thing. I think it's less judgy to care too much about clothing. Yeah, I
Right.
think Taylor, unbeknownst even to her, perhaps, which could be brilliant writing or just a writing flaw, but I'd like to err on the side of brilliant writing, in the sense of Taylor has this. Unbeknownst to her, she thinks she's better than everybody else. We've talked about that, right? About how she's this narcissistic person who thinks she knows what's best for everybody. Unfortunately, the way the story's written, she's right 9 times out of 10. So she really does know better than you.
She really
So-
does.
From
She
Wonderful
really
Lizard. Clear distinction. Taylor is a femcell image board user, while Victoria thinks she is Elle Woods. I think that's brilliant. I would make a slight
Pretty good.
correction. Victoria is Elle Woods.
That's very good.
Not only is she a great cape, but also she knows her outfits.
Not about to wear last year's suit.
Yeah.
Well,
Please.
I got to be
That's
honest. You guys picked up on a lot more of the fashion stuff than I did. So
I didn't pick up on
wasn't
it a
paying
lot. I
attention.
just noticed the
wasn't paying
section that
attention.
made me feel a little squibbly.
sure.
I think
sure,
it's
fair
supposed to, but that's
Yeah.
just. It could be either one.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Anyway.
2.2. Moving on.
Go.
Visiting Fume Hood.
I'm sorry.
Well-
We really haven't talked about the whole Fallen situation yet at all, and we should probably
Okay,
bring that
fair.
up because that feels like foreshadowing for so many problems coming up.
Mm,
Yeah.
let's
I
talk
mean,
about
I
it.
think it's just the general feeling we have with this megalopolis and everything going on, that there are problems that are the serious problems, and there are problems that are going to have to wait.
Yeah.
And their mindset towards the Fallen, which again, it's weird. The attendants literally there watching them recruit for essentially a villain town.
Right?
Mhm.
And they're
Right.
like, you know what? Honestly, they aren't the worst things going on right now. We got bigger fish to fry. We can't spend our energy fighting them. And hey, at the very least, they feed their people. Sure, it's a cult, but you know, we can't care about it right now.
Yeah. It really does feel
It's
like
not
one
true.
of those things where it's like you said, like this is a problem, sure, but it's not a big problem. Like this is not on the top list of priorities. This is further down the list, and like Victoria just like I think what she did was right, like stepping in and being like, this is no, don't do that. Don't go with them, you know, but at the
Yeah.
same time,
Yeah.
like I liked that she knew so much information. Like I think I mentioned this to Alan, is that I love how much information she has on all of these capes. And like she's just a wealth of knowledge because she knows so much background about them. I like that she's like, oh yeah, they had, you know, the leader had 3 kids. One of those was an idiot. Like, is that the leader? Oh wait, and then this other guy, he was in jail and I think he got murdered. So it's not him, so it must be the young guy. He's the partier. He's gonna be trouble though. Like, I love that she kind of like lays that out, and they basically say that she's right without saying she's right, because they all get upset when she nails it. And it's like, get him,
Yeah.
get him, Victoria. I love it.
Well, yeah, and I like that too, because and I think this is the advantage of it being a sequel, is that you have in the first book, you kind of, or in the first, you know, story, Worm, you have Tattletale kind of acting like the Hermione character, the one who knows everything. But now that this is a sequel, we've been in the world for a bit, it's an advantage to have Victoria, who is that Hermione character, as your protagonist, who can kind of say, yeah, this is who this person is. I remember them.
True.
So it's kind of an interesting twist on that, where we know a lot because of who she is.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Anything else about the Fallen we want to talk about?
I just wanted to make sure we mentioned it.
That was important.
Good
to mention.
catch.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Good catch.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on.
Definitely creepy.
Yeah.
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 Not a problem yet.
Yeah. Not a problem yet. Not a,
a
big
big
enough
a
deal
big
yet.
pin in the old board though, for sure.
Yes,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. All right. Moving on to 2.2. Visiting Fume Hood in the hospital, discussing the teams with Tempera, whose group is splitting up. taking some kids flying, contacting Jessica when a kid asks for help. This was a nice chapter. This was one of those 2.1 sucked, 2.2. Victoria gets to have a. It's nice. It's just nice. I don't really have much more to say than it's nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like that she
Yeah.
takes the kids flying. I think that's really sweet.
This is another one of those nothing happens mostly, but I love this chapter. Yeah. Do you want to go flying? Fuck yeah.
I thought it was boring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
A small point in here. As soon as they said they said Simon Says or something like that. One of the children's books. My ears perked up because right before this, as we know, Wildbow likes to put some of his works in the other ones. I think earlier we had a Maggie Holt series was in Worm, which would later become is the character in Pact. Pact. So his next series. After Pact came Twig, and in Twig there is a propaganda series for young children called Good Simon Says. And the kid is reading
funny.
that book in the hospital. So
That's funny.
an allusion,
Love that.
call back to the story he just finished writing.
I like it.
Nice.
Then, yes, Jessica, I would love to meet for lunch.
Yeah, it was kind of a funny. The one funny thing of this one chapter was that Victoria had two people tell her in the same chapter, "Hey, I got something I need to talk to you about that I could use your help with."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, for real though.
oh, okay, all right. Oh, Tempera needs my help. Jessica needs my help. Yeah. So, man, it's one of those just good ones. Yeah, it's wholesome. Feels very much like, hey, I can't do much, but I can help, right? I can help you have a better day.
A couple good things from chat. One was, and we'll confirm later, but Beefaroni, I think it was Word of God, said that Taylor was actually visited in the hospital for a crisis point after her incident, but was unresponsive because of the trigger.
Okay.
And then
Interesting.
2+ points out it's a good Simon's reference to Twig. Kids in animal masks getting in trouble is a reference to Pale, which would not be written yet, and neither would be the robot prison ship, which is the ongoing Seek, probably. Also,
interesting.
Certain points out that Twig also has a series in it called The Doll Man. No, it's a pulp novel series based on Mannequin.
Interesting.
Of course.
Love that. I love that when you have whole universes, you can just reference them kind of willy-nilly and it's fine. It's just fun Easter eggs for people who have read all of your books. I want to be that one day. I want to be the kind of author that references all of their stuff in all their other books.
I guess Fran Val said there's a birdcage Lego set in Pale.
That's funny.
I want that
That's
set.
great.
I don't even do Lego and I want that set.
That'd be great.
Only if it comes with all the minifigures.
Yeah, you could drop in your
marquee
minifigures and then never touch them again.
Oh yeah.
I was about to say it's you drop them in and if you ever try to pry it open again to remake it, the whole thing is just foam.
It just breaks.
Now imagine
a tube thing.
A tinker whose specialty is just Legos, just building the most intricate Lego sets.
Yes.
That's
Oh
the
my
tinker
God.
we need.
I triggered stepping on a Lego at night.
And that was
you know
his
what
trigger.
real pain is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then throws Legos out. It's I can't walk anywhere. Quick, get somebody with flying powers.
Pocket Legos.
Oh my God.
Anyways, fine chapter. I really, Tempera's group splitting up, Fume Hood and all of them splitting up, that just kind of makes sense. It's we were kind of on the edge anyway, and this was who's the Long Slash?
I think it's Longclaw.
What's his name? Longclaw. I do like his power, so I hope we see him again someday. I like all these heroes actually. I think they're kind of a cool little group, and I'm glad we get to see a bit more of Crystal Clear. Though it is confusing that Vicky's cousin is named Crystal, but her hero is not Crystal Clear.
That did confuse me for like
tripped me
half
up a couple
chapter.
of times. I'll be honest.
Long Scratch is the name.
Long Scratch, yeah, Long Scratch.
Yes.
Thank
Also,
you.
it is 2+ also points out it is pronounced tempera, not tempura, which
Like
It's,
temporary.
I
shrimp.
believe it's tempera.
Right.
Tempera, I believe, is what it should be.
Yeah.
Because it's based on the
they-
paint. Tempera.
Yes. Tempera.
Tempera. Yeah.
Oh, that would make sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I see a D&D
I
reference.
definitely am
I
saying
see you.
tempura because
Tempera.
hungry.
Yeah. Tempera. Yeah. Because tempura, tempura is the food.
That's why I was always getting hungry.
Right.
No, did any of you guys have tempera paints as a kid? The powdery paint that you'd mix with water? And no, I had a
Nope.
bunch.
Oh
of
wait,
I
like,
did,
like little
yeah.
white
Lemonade.
thing.
Yeah,
You,
they
like,
come in
add a
like
little water?
powdered.
Oh
Yeah, they come in like powdered, like, or at least what I had. I don't know if this is normal. Came in like little plastic bottles, and they were all powder, and you could just pour some out and then add some
I
water
think
to
in
it.
school we used them in like elementary, maybe.
I
They-
did not know about these.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, there you go. Anyways,
Nice.
2.3. I feel like 2.2 is really simple. There's not much to say.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, 2.3. If Victoria has a situation handled by tempera, not tempura. War is creeping on the horizon. Demonstrations are held, and a broken trigger occurs. Yeah.
And broken triggers. Trigger occurs.
A broken
Oof.
the broken trigger breaks and triggers later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, what a mess.
The scene where Victoria's picking out her costumes again, I mentioned it earlier, but it just reminds me of how spoiled the Undersiders must have been with their own custom costumes.
Yeah, really.
Custom made spider silk.
Like made to fit spider silk costumes. Like
Yeah.
it's just
Ooh,
like
so
she's like
good.
going through these like test costumes, and I'm just like,
I
oh
love
yeah, these
that.
sound awful. Like this is what normal people have to do, huh?
Taylor really could have just gone into the costume making business and would have been
Yeah.
just fine.
Oh my gosh,
my
she would have been
God.
fine. Yeah,
Can you imagine?
Made
Yeah.
so much money. It's just Edna mode.
Yeah,
she
Right.
could have been
literally.
Edna Mode. Yeah,
Yeah.
just breeding tons of Black Widows. I think were the best ones. She said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
imagine
Sorry, Hannah,
you
I
go to fuck up the PRT's like costume maker. It's like we need to make a point. We need to fuck up their costume maker, or like
Oh,
we
no.
need, and you go in to deal
Nope.
with somebody
Oh.
who's just, you think they're gonna run into a tailor of some kind, and you run into the tailor, and all of a sudden there's 10 bazillion Black Widows on you, or no, what was it?
Ugh.
Like dwarf bark skin spiders or something like
Yeah.
that. You know,
Yeah.
just you thought you were
Saker.
coming to fuck up somebody who's just a clothier, and instead you got the worst nightmare of your life.
Bernard said the Taylor
Yeah.
joke right as you did as
Worst
well.
nightmare of my life.
Yep. Taylor.
Yeah, great
Taylor.
minds.
Well done.
Taylor.
The Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just
no,
her
that was-
description
yeah,
of
that was-
some of them. Her description of some of them, she's just like, those shorts are so short. I don't think I can wear that. Like, that's just underwear.
Yeah.
Like,
What is that covering? What is it?
What is
It's-
that neckline?
It felt like
yeah.
a subtle dig at a lot of video game art
Right.
armor, which I
Oh, for
appreciated.
sure.
You know,
For
Or
sure.
even
But
just
it's like-
superhero outfits, right?
I mean, right?
Yeah,
Almost
but-
like there's- it's specifically like the Power Girl one, right? Almost specifically, it feels like,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is just the most egregious boob window costume you've seen in your life. Where it's-
Right.
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
Yeah. Like, isn't
classically
there the
bad.
girl from The Boys? I didn't watch it all, but the girl from The Boys, the pretty blonde
Starlight.
one, Starlight. Yeah, like they give her like she's in the cute like the skirt and the thing with the boots,
Mhm.
and then they like upgrade her outfit and it's just like a bodysuit, and she's like,
Yeah.
I can't wear this, and they're like, no, it's fine. It's like ranked really well with like our
It's gonna
like
play way
groups.
better. Yeah.
it's
yeah.
gonna do so
Yeah,
better,
it's
and
gonna
she's
be
Think
like,
about
for
how
our
much
audience.
how much
Yeah.
more limber you can be in this.
so stupid.
Yeah. And she ends up putting a sweater on over it all, right? Like,
Yeah,
Mhm.
because it's
like,
cold.
I'm just gonna wear a sweater. I'm just gonna wear a sweater.
Well, it's like a sweatshirt, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Is it not just like a sweatshirt?
yeah.
I can get down with that.
Also, I have besides hell yeah military capes. Let's go. Jesus Sprite, horny little fucker. And then immediately below that, I take it back. Sprite is great.
I like.
I do love that he was like, I'm gonna shoot my shot, and then she rejects him. He's like, all right, cool. Like just takes it on the
He's like
chin.
so chill with it. He's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
The proper way to respond to a
My man.
rejection.
I get the sense that he does that with like everybody he meets immediately. So he's
You
just
shoot your shot,
listen.
and then you put it out there. And if they change their mind, they can come back and talk to you later.
Exactly. It's-
That's right. They know where
What
you
does he
stand.
say? Like, what does he say to the one other hero? He's like, he like pauses and turns. He's like, I'm gonna throw a boot at you. Something
I
like
will. Yeah. I will literally beat you. Like, stop fucking with my
That's
game.
right. I will literally beat you.
So
That feels like the perfect like. It's like the data side, right? Like you're having a conversation and you like turn to your. I'll kill you. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love because he's in the middle of just laying it on smooth, like, oh yeah, yeah.
Please?
But he's laying it on.
What the fuck now? I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you with my boot.
Yeah.
He's over there, just oh yeah, like oh things are going, oh yeah, we could train long and hard if you know what I say. I never get tired of
Long and
training. And meanwhile, they're like audibly rolling their eyes behind it. It's like, oh yeah, shut the fuck up, will you? For like a goddamn second.
Let me do
Anyway.
my. Let me cook, damn it.
Yeah. Killing it.
Grandpa, no!
I'm in the zone.
Get that baby out, Jesse.
Stop! Oh my
Jesse,
god!
you know what I mean?
Stop,
Get the
please! Oh my god, I can't. Fine.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh man. Yeah.
No,
I think
was
that's
great.
why though, like unrelated to all that, the costume conversation too just reminded me. I wonder if that's why a lot of at least the like thinker types opted for just like suits. Like Accord's just wearing a really nice suit. Like a like a
Classier
3-piece
thinker
suit,
mentality.
Love
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
Here for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to see.
Anything
I'm
else
trying
in
to
this
see what some of
chapter
the
we
Anything
talk
bef-
about?
I was
superhero
before we
names
get
are.
to the trying to anything before we get to the big old trigger.
I believe in this chapter, and I think maybe I think it's the beginning of this chapter where we do have Victoria handing off essentially care of the new triggered girl to Tempera.
Yeah, the person we don't know
and-
too much about.
Yeah.
Right.
I believe that is actually an added part to this chapter to help smooth the transition from one chapter to straight into the paramilitary stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The threat of war, and I think this was one of my predictions that I feel like I kind of got right. We'll see how it pans out, but just the idea that the threats in this, because of this interconnected multiverse of Earths, a lot of the threats will come from other Earths. They won't come from Earth Gimel. I mean, there will be threats from Earth Gimel, but a lot of the conflict will be external. So,
I actually kind of want to pull
Good,
up my
the good
what
prediction.
I predicted.
Who's
'cause I wanna
feeling
wants
likely.
to know, did you mention the jerkwad from 1.1 that interrupts Sprite?
is that 1.1?
Literally, we never get a name until this chapter, but we do have the dude that prevented Victoria from getting on the team.
Oh yeah. Was that Shortcut?
It is.
Is that who that was?
Mm.
I wrote down shortcut, but yeah.
did not make that connection at
Neither
all.
did I. That's funny.
No, I forgot about that. No, they do have that conversation. That's an interesting conversation where he's like, "Oh, I'm the one who said they shouldn't hire you, but I wanted them to know it was me, or I wanted you
Oh,
to know
that's
it was
right.
me."
That's right. That's right. That's right. Did
and
he say?
What a bitch.
Did he say why?
Because he's a bitch, and he was like, "You didn't tell me that you were here, and you were trying to sabotage me with all those people there."
Oh, he was about the community
That's
center.
right.
Yeah, he was upset about the
No,
community.
not the community center.
Was
It
it?
was when the memorial. The girl ran into the memorial. Victoria was first on the scene, and then that guy shows up.
Oh, with the car crash. That
Yeah.
was that guy?
Oh,
That was
Oh,
that guy.
fuck him.
Oh,
He got
okay.
pissy because he didn't know she was a cape. Oh,
Yeah.
get over it. Oh my gosh.
I forgot
Life's
about
too
that, yeah.
short. The world is too uncertain. Get over it. Move on.
What an asshole.
This doesn't
What
bode well though.
a
We're 2
asshole.
arcs in, and I'm already forgetting these little like connections. And
I
things.
know. It's
a
because
long
there's
way
too
to
much
go.
going on.
It's okay. First reads for big picture stuff, right?
That's
You
right.
let
That's right.
you
Whoa!
we'll
Big
let all of
pictures
these
in the
people.
interlude. Let's calm
wait,
down.
wait, hold on.
Hey,
Haven't gotten in.
nice.
That's why we are
Um,
doing a book club with
yep.
all these people online with us to help us remember.
That's right.
Yeah,
Keep
they keep us honest.
Keep us sane.
Um,
Are we at the broken trigger?
That would be 2.4.
2.4.
Yeah.
Are we
Ready to-
Well, end of 2.3, 2.4. But
Yeah.
yeah.
segue? Yeah.
Moving into 2.4. I don't know that it was the memorial actually. I was looking back through the arc. I think it was the community center because he asks if she went up against Lord of Loss.
No, he
Oh,
said
I
he
But
thought-
it was
heard about.
related to the
he
memorial
rec-
too.
He recognized
Okay,
her
gotcha.
because of the reporting on the memorial center.
Oh,
He
that's
was
right.
the one
that's
that
right.
showed up to the memorial. Sorry, the community center is what he recognized her
That's
from.
right. That's right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. Douche.
Makes sense.
All right. 2.4
Douche.
broken trigger. The broken trigger breaks its subjects, the humans it affects and the parahumans who witness it, and Jessica confesses she made a mistake. Yeah, broken trigger is kind of horrifying.
There it
Obviously,
is.
we don't know the cause of them yet. I'm going to assume, though, my best guess is that because the entities are no longer actively involved in the process in some way. Not that I know that they were super involved before specifically, but just in a broad sense they were involved. My guess is just, again, it's like, okay, their lack of involvement means that sometimes shards will just explode rather than actually latch on to somebody.
I know. I was wondering. My
kinda
thought
my
was
vibe.
like or like a dead shard or something like that. That can't attach. I don't know. It's interesting. I'm very
Mhm.
curious how it's explained. If
Yeah.
it's explained.
Pretty horrific, visually
Yeah.
speaking.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, just the image. So the contrast of those who are getting like ripped apart by it, and then the crowd of people rushing towards, like trying to get powers.
Those dumb
like-
motherfuckers.
Just a horrifying contrast of crowds running to and from. I'm imagining in my head, just like,
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
what a
Yeah.
awful situation.
Yeah, some of the descriptions are just really visceral of the
Mhm.
idea too of it being like a nail in your brain where people
Yeah.
are like, if they were caught midair, it
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
catches them midair and then the rest of their body falls and their brain just gets like shunted out
Yeah.
of their head.
Because
Pull
that
their head.
it happens twice, right? Or she sees it happen twice, and like she
she
tries
sees
to
it happen
save
twice, yeah.
the girl, but the first guy just I'm guessing just gets his brain ripped from him a little bit or something like that because he
Yeah.
just dies and like, oh, it's brutal.
Yeah.
That and the
Yeah.
tree guy got me.
Oh, the
Yeah.
tree guy. Oh my god.
Yeah, nothing
Ugh.
like your insides turning into a tree and shooting out of your mouth, huh?
And down.
And down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind
That
of
went
everywhere.
Yeah.
Full
I mean,
sword.
listen, I've
tree,
had
if
it
you
coming
will.
out of both ends before, but not like that.
Yeah. Not
Not a
solidifying
tree.
anyway, you know.
I've dropped
Not
some
turning into a
logs,
tree.
you know what I mean? But
No. Jeez.
Which way?
Michael.
Let's move on quickly.
Oh no. I love
Oh,
a good
man.
body horror, as you guys know. I find it super fascinating, and like I wish I could come up with stuff like this, because the whole thing of like the girl who's she's standing on her tiptoes and they're trying to like wedge something under her feet so she can stand, so that she can try and keep her head as steady as humanly possible because of the whole, nail in your head kind of thing. Like that is
Yeah.
just because she's slowly, like, I mean, when you have brain surgery. They like screw your head into place. They put screws in your head so that you don't accidentally like move even a little bit, because any small twitch is gonna fuck up your brain. And this idea that like she can't move at all, and your adrenaline is pumping and your brain is freaking out and you can't do anything, and you know shit is bad and it's getting worse, and like Jesus.
We've talked about before how the entities are these sort of interdimensional beings, and the shards are a piece of them. And there's that the Palentis Corona.
Yes,
I
yes,
think it's
yes.
called.
Corona Palentia.
Part of the Corona Palentia, yeah, that they use as sort of like that's the anchor where powers are set. And the what I'm imagining is happening, right, is that the shards are like fixed points that touch multiple universes and realities.
Yeah.
And so what's happening is when they're not properly willing to move with the host, they literally just shoot and stay. And they're just an anchor like through multiple realities. But yeah, 2 + 4 says the first brain nail victim was midair jumping down from a car, and that's why
that's right.
brain
That's right.
got yanked out.
He went quick.
Sheesh.
Yeah, Anne. That's right. Her name was Anne. God.
We also talk about,
and then the last guy too. Yeah.
The tree dude, the crystal tree guy. That like very much when we ran into Eden, in the bottom of Cauldron, it's different materials and stuff spilling out everywhere. And that's basically what's happening. I talked about the concept of like once we discovered how powers work, you realize it's just like essentially everything's kind of portals. That you control.
Yeah.
And in this case, it is a portal to another, energy dimension that is just having unrestricted access to explode out of you, as opposed to, a controlled version of this would have been, oh, I can open my mouth and spit out crystal shards. Instead, there's no, the Manton effect is not doing anything. There's no protections from your passenger. It doesn't understand to protect you. So instead of becoming the Human Torch, you just become a Human Torch.
You just burn up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My deep theory is
I
do hope it's... Go ahead, Nick.
No, go ahead, Jacob. You got it.
No, okay, fair. I was going to say, I do hope my deep theory is that this is all just Abaddon coming back for revenge against Scion and Eden.
I'm here for it. I like it.
And purposely fucking up the triggers and the shards.
Ooh. Yeah, there you go. I think there's this. The last guy is the one who it seems like maybe was the closest to actually getting powers, but because he had they saw him he was surrounded by this mass, he was kind of moving other bodies with him, but it was this fragile thing, and again his brain was pinned; it didn't properly move with him. So even then, when he broke what was holding him up with his powers,
that was it.
Fell and died, and that was it. Yeah. And it was what, 90 people who passed away afterwards, we find
93.
out?
Yeah. It was
92.
Yeah.
92 or 93.
92. Yeah.
It's interesting. Crazy. I was literally just about to ask this, and then I mentally answered my own questions, but I was thinking of it's interesting. Victoria's literally getting off the phone, just now dealing with this kid who got powers and doesn't know what to do with it, and they're in a bad situation, and she's figuring things out for them, and they're seemingly okay, and yet you have this event where you have 93 people who are now dead because of this broken explosive trigger, and it's it makes me wonder what the numbers are on new powers that are coming into being. How many of them are coming out broken? And I'm sure we'll learn more as we go along in the story. I don't necessarily need chat to tell me numbers or anything like that, but it's just, I don't know, it's interesting to think about what do our numbers look like now that things are different, now that we don't have Scion anymore.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm very curious. From a world building and lore perspective, I'm very curious. Although if I can just sci-fi nerd for a second, I know fantasy stories get a pass because magic and magical things, but if something is a fixed point in reality, it would not stay there. It would be rocketed away at like 1,000 miles an hour because the Earth is moving through space. Okay, I said my piece. We're good. Let's move on. I just had to say that.
Yeah. Which that would be a different kind of horrifying because they're just gone, and you're like, what
Which would
happened
be-
to them?
Would also
Where'd
be
everybody
great,
go?
right?
Yeah.
You just
Yeah,
got
yeah.
fixed in reality and
Um,
just be great.
I'd like
Yeah,
to think that the fun sci-fi explanation is that the gravity of a planet would be sufficient to even a broken passenger to like coordinate logistics. Like it's such a powerful
Mm.
energy source that they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna stay relative to this.
I can buy
yeah,
that.
yeah. There you go. Yeah, I think thematically too, I see that this whole fight, right? It's not really a fight. It's more of a we need to keep people from mobbing this central power hub where this broken trigger's happening. And it kind of speaks to the desperation for people to have power in any sense, right? Like that's kind of even what these protests are about. These demonstrations is like, look, we were promised something. We've done all this work. We're not getting it. And this is the only way that they can have any sort of power in this megalopolis is like just shutting everything down. And similarly, there's this realization where they sort of think to themselves, I'm so desperate for power. Even if it kills me, it might be worth the chance of death to get power to really change the world to do what I need. And I can imagine that powerlessness is going to be a recurring theme in this.
I think that's a good guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We also get Victoria talking a little bit negatively about herself when she sees her power, which I think was actually in the last chapter too.
I was gonna say I just realized we didn't talk about it.
Yeah, where people are like, "What's that scratching sound?" while she's getting irritated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Horrifying for her.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then
Yeah.
later in this chapter, she gives the shape a name, and
The
calls
wretch.
it the wretch, which I feel like has gone through a lot of therapy to not call herself that when she looks in the mirror.
Rat. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one hurt. That one hurt a bit.
Yeah, it's again that taking a character that you didn't feel much sympathy for and letting you see from their perspective why you should feel sympathy. For sure. I think she mentioned somewhere in here that the concept of how it was just everything was painful, and this idea of she would so desperately want to turn off the TV even though she was the one who asked for it on, not because she didn't want to watch anything to distract herself, but just because she couldn't turn it off herself. And that going back to what I said, that theme of powerlessness is just so prevalent there of I can't do anything. I'm unable. So yeah, sad.
On a positive note, we spot in the distance land extending and shrinking to get people out of there and prevent them from going to the trigger. And Victoria says, "Oh, it's little V."
Yeah, I'm glad Vista's still around.
That was nice. Yeah. After Gold Morning, like, you're not 100% sure who still is around or not. Like, we did have Glowworm and we had some of those, like, interludes afterwards, but, like, you're not quite sure who made it and who didn't. And it's nice to know that Vista made it through. Also, she came in so handy here. That worked out really well.
Clutch. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we see her with Miss Militia when Miss Militia's meeting up with
Yes, I think we did. She with Bitch, right?
Yeah,
Miss
she's
Militia
meeting up with
and
Bitch. And then Vista
Vista
shows up and kind of interrupts.
Yeah, I think so.
And she's strapped at that point too, because she's little V with a gun.
Yeah, let's go. I love it.
Which Vista's powers with a gun is terrifying.
We are. I think we mentioned then, like, imagine like
So cool.
take the shot, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm about to make this bullet, like there's gonna be no drop distance because I'm about to make this bullet 5 inches from their temple.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
She could maybe curve the bullet, you know.
Oh,
yeah,
she probably could.
Yeah,
Really
there's
bad
probably,
Oh, for
probably
sure.
some things in there, yeah.
That'd be so cool to. Gosh.
Or she's like, oh shoot, like I miscalculated, like pulls the distance as fast as she can on the bullet so that like the person does eventually walk into where the bullet's going.
Yeah, right.
Or
yeah.
like quickly like shrinks the distance they're walking so that they walk into the bullet.
Right.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Cool. Yeah. Dodge this.
Yeah.
And then
J-Man asked
Jessica,
how old you know.
I believe
Beefaroni thinks
yeah,
17.
yeah, I think
17.
16.
16, 17, yeah.
But
Because she was
she was the
pretty young.
younger.
She was
11?
12 at the beginning, 11 or 12 at the beginning
12?
of the story of
So
Worm.
she would have been
Was she that
14,
young?
16 probably.
After, yes, yeah, so 16.
Yeah, remember, it's a
That
complaint
would-
she has where she's been doing it a while, but she always gets treated like a kid.
Mhm,
Right.
Yeah, she's not a child soldier, she's a teen soldier.
At the
Ooh.
beginning, she is 12. At the beginning,
Oh
she's
my
12.
God. Fran.
Start of Ward, she should be 17. So
Yeah, we have here, she
Yeah.
turned 13 when Leviathan attacked. And fun fact, if
okay.
this from Fanvals, Leviathan was her 13th birthday. Wow, thank you, Beefaroni.
that's right.
And
That's
2+.
right. I forgot about
Uh,
that.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
Fran Vols, fun fact, if Vista survives one more year, she'll be the only member of the original wards we met to make it to 18.
Oh. Really? That doesn't feel
Yeah,
right, but I
'cause
guess
None
it
of them
is.
get to graduate. Not a single goddamn one.
Wait, what
Uh,
happened? Am I
Well,
drawing a
Clock
blank?
Blocker
What
was
happened
over
to
18
Kid?
when he died, right?
I was gonna say,
Kidwin's
what happened
out.
to Kidwin?
Kidwin's out.
Kidwin died in
uh,
Good Morning.
Blocker.
I
Oh,
think
he does die in Gold Morning. That's right.
Blocker.
Clock
Aegis
Blocker
is
died in
out.
Good Morning.
Aegis.
Aegis
I think,
died in
I think that's
Leviathan.
Aegis, right?
Yeah,
The
Aegis
boyfriend.
Yeah, Aegis and
The
Gallant.
boyfriend, Gallant, is out.
Gallant.
So
Gallant died in Leviathan.
yeah, and we said Clock Blocker.
And Shadow
so
Stalker doesn't count.
yeah.
Shadowstalkers, yeah. Be a bitch.
Wait, no. Shadowstalker should count though, right?
Nah. She was
Nah.
a juvie
Come
on like
She
temporary
was
leave.
there because it was
She
that or
was-
prison.
Look,
She was
does
their
Theon
charity case,
Greyjoy
you
count as a child of Winterfell? No, he's a ward. Okay, you know.
As a ward, got it. Right.
Yeah, Clock Blocker ate at the oil rig. I remember that.
Yeah, that one
Um,
hurt. Clock Blocker was still my favorite of
Yeah.
the.
No,
of the
Shadowstalker's
wards.
still alive. We know. I mean, I guess we
Yeah.
don't know for sure.
I
but
mean,
Shadowstalker's
as far as
still
we
alive.
know from
We
the
just don't
end
like
of
her.
Worm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 2 years. She could have gotten herself killed. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, probably.
Yeah.
Well,
And then we get to see Jessica.
We do. The old JY,
Mm,
Mm,
the queen.
very cool.
yeah.
are we gonna talk about how freaking annoying she is for about
Okay.
2 seconds?
Well, if
there?
we're moving to the next chapter,
Next
then.
chapter.
Are we moving to 2.5?
Let's do
Yeah.
it. We got a lot
Y'all,
of
I'm
chapters
so
still to go.
sorry.
2.5.
I'm sorry.
No, I get what you mean, though. I get what you mean.
Okay, good. I'm
2.5.
so glad.
Jessica asks for help with group therapy. Victoria meets team therapy and Weld. Sveta's got a body. Talk about the Boston Games, and the group wants to be heroes.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
if I can guess what you mean, Hannah, it's about how many qualifiers she puts on.
Yeah.
I'm about to ask you for a favor.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Jessica, I love you.
I love you.
Spit it out already.
Get to the goddamn point.
Listen,
You would never tolerate.
if she should have just brought like the HIPAA paperwork with her and just made her sign it there and then been like, okay, now
Right?
we can talk. You know.
Well, I love it though because it is the most like therapist thing to be like, now I want you to understand you have no obligation to do this, and I want to put out all the caveats out there. Like it's the I want to make sure that you're emotionally prepared to deal with the question that I'm about to ask you. And that's like, okay, that's great. We're good. Please, for the love
Yeah.
of God.
I think
Just
somewhere near the
say
end,
it.
Victoria even says
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, that's cool. Just tell me what it is."
Yeah.
Also,
know?
because like, if I'm
I
being
think-
honest, it wasn't
Yeah.
that bad of a question. It was like, "Hey, I need a little help. Are you comfortable with this?"
Yeah.
Just say it. You can
Yeah.
ask.
There's no need to
You're
like
fine.
turn it into a 4-paragraph thing.
Yeah.
Jessica.
I imagine it all just comes down to, and I guess now this is going to be what I harp on for this episode, maybe. Is Jessica knows that I think she's acutely aware of the power a therapist can have over heroes in particular. And for Victoria, Miss Yamada was basically the only person who treated her like a normal person besides Sveta, you know. And so I think it's really just like, if you meet with somebody one-on-one for 2 years and you are just trying to help them and they owe you one of the biggest debts of their lives for being mentally sane still.
Yeah.
I can imagine the qualifiers of like, look, I'm going to ask you. And Victoria does say yes immediately, so I understand her. Please, like, just think for a second. Don't say yes immediately. You know, I get it, but I understand what you mean too. It was a bit annoying by the end of like, okay, just what is the favor? Tell us, please.
Just spit it out. Well, just as she's trying to do her
yeah.
due diligence, which like it's very therapist of her. It's completely forgiven, obviously, because she can do no wrong. But also bless her sweet self.
But also shows why she's probably still around as like the go-to
Yeah.
therapist.
Yeah,
these
for
days.
sure.
Yeah.
Although I
she's
do like
alive
that she
for a
mentions
while.
there's a team of them though. She mentions that there's a few rotating therapists that sort of move around
Right.
in different groups, which I thought was interesting.
Which makes sense. Makes sense.
It does. I'm glad it's not. I'm glad it's not just her.
They need
Yeah.
it.
She's got
Everyone
some
needs.
backup.
Everyone
Yeah.
needs to be in therapy, especially
Yeah.
after Gold Morning. All capes need
Yeah,
to
Especially
be
after
there.
Gold Morning.
Mandated therapy.
Ooh, do we
Yeah.
think? Did I
Yeah,
skim over
yeah.
anything? Do we think that Yamada is like in the know for Gold Morning? She's got.
Oh,
She
she
said
has to
she
be.
picked up.
Like-
She said explicitly in the thing that
Okay.
she has gotten a pretty good picture based on talking to enough capes at this point.
Would make sense.
Yeah, I'm sure
I mean,
she has.
she
enough.
was Valkyrie / Glycigwinye's therapist for a bit there.
Yes,
so I feel
she
like
was.
if you're
True.
gonna get the tea from any of the people who were at Gold Morning,
It might as
you know,
well be the fairy
she's
queen
gonna be one of
herself.
them.
Last
Valkyrie
when
probably
we first
loves
met,
tea.
yeah, when we first met, you had like what 15 ghosts, and now you have like 4,000. What happened?
What? What are you talking about? I've always had 4,000.
Damn it.
Have
Yeah,
you been affected by Kepri?
Oh yeah, no,
Call this number.
absolutely.
You may be entitled to mandated therapy.
Yeah.
Were you touched by?
Yeah.
By Kepri.
Where in your brain did they touch you?
Yeah.
Which I guess is more of a
Oh.
question for Amy.
Oh
Or Amy's
no,
victims of
I
Amy.
hate it.
Or you know, Anne or Anna,
Yeah,
whatever her
oof.
name was.
And,
Yeah.
you know,
Feeling stuck.
Feeling stuck.
Feelings.
Stop it. No.
Listen,
No, I hate it.
Feeling
I've
constipated.
had some bad headaches before, but
Yeah. I've just got this splitting
anyways,
headache.
No. This tree splitting headache.
That's
But
that's
then
what
we
I
meet.
said earlier to
Yeah.
reference my lack of caffeine.
Yeah,
Is like,
yeah.
not to reference later in the.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, God
Yeah.
damn it.
Uh,
Okay.
But we meet the team.
We see some familiar faces. Our boy
Hey.
Weld
Woo.
Oh
is
man.
Nice.
alive and kicking and thriving, dare I say.
Dare
In
I
his
Oh
say?
yeah.
I like that
Hydrated, staying
yeah.
in his lane.
specifically mentions that he looks like cleaner. Like he's found a way to obviously absorb metal better or something like that. Because she mentions that he like just looks better, which is really
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
He's wearing flip-flops, but they're like rubber and metal.
Well, he had
I
his
love it.
he had his punk phase, right? He had his punk phase
Yeah.
with the irregulars.
The spikes.
That's
Yeah.
true.
The spikes and the and he's grown out of that now. He's sure he's settling down with his girlfriend now, and you know.
I love it.
Also,
I love it
this
so
this
much.
whole scene of them getting together is giving big Discord group meets IRL energy.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Which of course they're all
Aw.
the people from the chats in Glowworm, so it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind
I
of
love
fun
that.
to connect those dots. That was funny. I am glad that I called Sveta as one of them. Hugs you, dies.
Yeah. That was good. That was really good. I kind of want to go back and read
yeah.
those Glowworm chapters now that we kind of have a better
I know,
handle.
really.
Yeah.
I might wait a couple more arcs before I go back and read them, just because I want to get to know everybody a little bit better, but personality-wise. But yeah,
It does give a slightly ominous undertone to me because I don't remember that group getting along super well. And online. Whereas
Yeah.
here, obviously
Not
there's some tension here, but here
They
they
seem
seem
to,
at
like,
least a little
vibe.
bit more cohesive.
I don't
Pretty
think
well.
it was that group that was not getting along.
yeah. There's a couple different
No.
people.
Maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
Do you guys want to see if we can go through and
Anyways.
name who's who?
I failed
Stop.
immediately.
I was gonna say, can we do it?
I don't even
I
remember
would
their
love
name.
to play this game. Can we play this game in like a couple arcs? Because I really do want to try
Yeah,
to
yeah.
guess.
We'll do a couple of
I
others.
just need to know who these people are a little bit better.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, please.
Oh, I was gonna say
Thanks,
this
chat.
is a really easy. I feel like this is a really easy one. If you want to say their username and just take a wild guess at which one of these people it is.
Just
Oh,
their
gosh.
username.
See, the problem is I have to remember their real name. And
Yeah,
their
I don't remember their
username.
That's
fucking real
true.
names.
That's
I was
true.
gonna say,
Yeah.
there's
the
a reason
issue.
why I said give me a
Okay,
couple
okay.
more arcs.
Okay, we'll return to this.
We'll
then.
put it. Yeah, we'll be back.
Put a pin in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, one of them's obvious because Kenzie's name gets dropped. That's
I mean,
part of the
yeah,
connection that I remember.
Kenzie was the
Yeah.
easiest one to guess, but
And then Sveta was the easy one as well.
yeah. I love
Yeah.
Sveta's her use of, because I imagine they're hollow. All of her prosthetics are hollow, so that she can manually kind of operate them.
Yeah.
But I love that kind of. I mean, doll suit sounds kind of creepy, but like, yeah, it's giving her a shape and a form to be able to function, and like her touches with Victoria, like the way that they hug and like how they hold hands or lean on each other, like is so sweet in this chapter that like finally Sveta has a body, like so
Dare I say
lovely.
mannequin inspired?
Very like an
I mean,
actual marionette sort of with strings.
Yeah.
Internal
But-
marionette, yeah.
But yeah, an internal
Although-
marionette, which is how muscles function with how like the tension works, like in a normal human
absolutely.
body.
Like tendons and
Yeah.
muscles, absolutely.
The
do
one
love-
thing that got
Love
me
it.
though was like, sorry Jake, real quick. The one
Yeah.
thing that got me is in the description when she hugs her, and then she puts her hand
yeah.
on the back of her head
On
and
her
can
hair.
feel the tentacles wriggling under her wig.
Underneath.
I'm like,
Ooh, I forgot about that.
That was a little creepy. I mean, I
Yeah,
feel like cracking a jar. I feel like she's so much more happier and comfortable with herself, and like you know, later on we see it like with the people being like not catcalling, the opposite of catcalling her on the street, just being dicks. It's like, you know what? I will take this and people being dicks to me over not being able to function in society at all. Which
Yeah.
yeah.
less. Also, I just love her and Victoria's relationship so much. Like already, like them bonding and like,
This is the first time they've gotten to see each other in bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck.
that's Fran pointed that out in chat that they didn't even know that Victoria's body was fixed. So seeing her,
Yeah.
they heard
And
that
Victoria
she was
didn't know
alive,
that
but that
Greta
was
had a
it.
body either.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
I was gonna say I do love how they mention that her prosthetics were not Tinker made. So somewhere out there is like a prosthetic specialist who's been overshadowed by Tinkers their whole life,
Oh,
and now
wow.
finally is like, my time has come, and gets to make normal prosthetics.
Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, they probably always had, because we talk about the degradation of Tinker technology. There's
Yeah.
probably still very few times that Tinker technology actually is like useful for long-term stuff. Like you maybe use Tinker technology to do a surgery, but you have to have regular human-made stuff to like
That's true. So it doesn't
be, a heart or not the heart transplant, but like a pacemaker.
right.
You'd have to put
right.
in a human-made pacemaker. You couldn't do a Tinker-made one because the Tinker-made one would
explode.
just, yeah, they would just.
Yeah, I also get the sense like Tinker technology because of their specialties, right? It's like, yeah, exactly that. Like Tinker technology is like, I can't make a normal pacemaker. What I can do is replace your heart with a V6 engine, though.
Yeah. You do have to drink gasoline,
But you'll learn.
I imagine
A lot of
that,
people
like,
got to adjust
you'll
to like almond milk and stuff. You just got to do. Remember to get the 87 though, not the 93. That higher
Yeah.
octane will really mess you up.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's funny. No, that's great. I'm glad they're back.
Also, I loved them being like, Jessica, you scamp. You knew. She's like,
Yeah.
I said
I
that
did know.
Victoria was, mobile. And you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, we thought like on a dolly.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, actually,
No, it's great.
this brings to mind something. I don't know if I mentioned earlier. Did I say this before? I'm sure I must have. When Jessica and Victoria see each other for the first time, which was the last arc, I think, where she doesn't say, or is it here with Sveta? I can't remember who it is, but they see Victoria and they go, "It's so good to hear your voice," and that fucking killed me because for so long Victoria couldn't speak, couldn't communicate, and like it's such a difference from "It's so good to see you," because Victoria's had such these issues with herself and her body, how she views herself, and then the important part of that interaction is it's so good to hear your voice finally, like to hear you, not to see you or see what you are and see the real you as opposed to like the wretch you, but no, like it's so good to hear your voice, like that. It just felt really good. It made me really happy, and I just cried tears of joy also. It was
Yeah,
for
Sveta
just
says a
all the
similar
time.
thing too.
She
Where
does,
it's like,
I'm
this
pretty
is
sure.
I never knew what you sounded like. Like this is the first time I'm talking to you with your actual voice.
Ah!
And I love Victoria's awareness too, to realize, oh, she can't like feel the little squeezes, right? She has the
Yeah.
her little tentacles, so she shakes
So
the
she
arm
just like
to give
shakes
it
a
that,
little
like,
bit, like,
Oh,
oh my god.
yeah.
Oh, they're
And
great.
yeah, I mean her and Weld, love, beautiful.
Still great. I love
So
that Will doesn't
stinking
need therapy.
cute.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, you kids have fun. I'm all healed.
Bye.
this body ain't the only thing made of metal.
Yeah.
You
Or
emotions.
I do. What's it? I think this is later, probably a couple chapters later. But when they're talking, and Sveta's like, got to figure out how to cook for Weld for ways that he can eat. I was just like, he can taste it. Yeah, it's got to be spicy enough for him to taste, but not enough to kill people. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm just imagining their apartment must smell like the spiciest Indian food known to man.
Yeah.
Is like all I'm imagining.
I think
It's
their
all
complaint was it
the
has
hot
to be.
It's all the hot ones, hot sauces just laid out. And like,
Yeah.
what does he go through the most? It's like, oh, it's Da Bomb for sure.
Yeah, just on
That's
everything.
like his
At least I
favorite.
can feel something. It's not good, but it's something.
Oh, love it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Oh man.
So good.
So
about
who
the
are the?
rest
I want to
of
go
the
through
rest
the
of the
names
group?
of the other members. Yeah. So we've got in the group now. We've got Sveta. I know we've got Kenzie, who, Lord bless her little ADD heart or something.
Yeah. My new favorite.
We'll get to her. We'll get to her.
Second favorite character.
So we got Kenzie. We got Capricorn, whose real name is, what is his name?
Well, it's
Did they say?
Is he
I was-
Tristan?
It's yes,
Yeah.
yes. That's
Tristan.
Tristan.
Yeah.
Tristan.
okay.
Is it Tristan?
Yeah.
Well,
it's
Tristan and Brian,
Yeah,
right? Or
Byron.
Was it
Or Byron.
Byron.
Yeah.
Byron. I was
Byron.
like, I know
Don't worry,
starts with a
I
B.
read his
Tristan
name as
and Byron.
for probably a good 3/4 of Ward.
I think mentally I
Tristan
thought it was
and
Bryce.
Byron. Yeah, so we've got
We'll come back to
Tristan
them.
and Byron. And then we've got Chris is the moody one.
Mhm.
The moody tween.
And then
Do we know
we've got,
his
Rain.
name?
Rain.
Whose
name is
only
Rain.
only Capricorn has a hero name because he was a hero prior.
No,
One
Yeah.
other
That we
person
know
has
of
a
at
cape
this
name.
point, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Ashley. Ashley was
Right,
yeah,
Ashley.
damsel of
Yeah,
distress.
damsel of distress. Yeah.
Which I've got questions about her too, which we'll get to.
So many questions.
So yeah, and then Rain.
Byron is sad. Sad Byron is sad.
Instead of hot Brian is
And-
hot, we got sad Byron is
That
sad.
Brian.
That
I
Byron
love
is
it.
sad.
It's so good. It's so good.
And that's all of them.
I
I
think,
think that's
so.
all of them.
Yeah.
I think they
Yeah.
said there may be
Yeah.
one person missing.
No.
I thought
no.
the person missing was Ashley, who
Yeah.
came in late.
Oh yeah, Ashley came in. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
the
Interesting group.
Yeah.
Group for sure.
Yeah, very interesting.
I understand why Jessica's worried about them forming a team.
To
Yeah.
say
For
the
obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Good gravy.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're just gonna ignore the trauma bonding thing, because that's a whole issue in and of itself, they do not seem like a good, like, coherent cape group. Like, the fact that Victoria is gonna be like their coach kind of is probably for the best, but like they need some. The vibe coming off of this is in need of some serious parental
Yeah.
oversight. You
Yeah.
know.
Let's see what we have.
Well-
2 tweens with
Yeah.
the wildest
babies.
spectrum ends as possible.
Yeah.
Let's see. The moody, the brothers mood, I'll call them,
Brother's mood.
which aren't even the
Oh.
brothers mood, which aren't even the brothers. I'm going for Rain and Byron as
Oh.
the brothers mood.
I was gonna say,
That's
is Rain not the
No,
tween?
No, Rain's not the twin. Byron and
No,
Tristan.
you're
are
thinking-
the-
No.
yeah, Byron and Tristan.
No, I didn't say twin. I said tween.
Oh,
No, Chris.
tween.
And,
Chris is the
Chris-
other tween.
yeah.
Or Chris is the
Chris and
teen.
Kenzie.
Yeah.
No, Chris
Yeah.
and Kenzie are like
Yeah.
12,
Chris
13.
and Kenzie are the 2 teens.
Yeah.
Those
Okay.
are our tweens. Then the brothers mood. Then Tristan as our face. And then, a very theater kid supervillain.
Yeah.
I do. I know we're
In
getting into
therapy.
Yeah.
This
all in
should be
therapy.
great.
And we're kind of dabbling into the next chapter too here. But like when she's going over all of their reasons for wanting to like go out and do cape things, it's like, well, I want to not die. I just want to be a villain. I'm in it for the money. Like it's like there's no organization at all. It's a mess. But
Yeah.
it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
Kenzie's
No,
like, I just want to not be left out. I just want to be
Poor
included.
Kenzie.
Yeah. Poor Kenzie. Yeah. I felt bad for Kenzie because she is absolutely. She hit me as the epitome of that teenager who is at like peak awkward development, where she doesn't quite
Yeah.
know when to stop talking. She just says everything that comes to mind immediately. She has no prefrontal cortex filter,
Right.
combined with what
Poor
appears to
thing.
be tinker powers. And I don't know if all tinkers have ADHD, but I'm starting to suspect it might be a side effect.
She does have Kenzie does
know.
have my favorite quote of the whole arc, which was I specialize in cameras, or my tinker specialty is cameras and large awkward boxes. My specialty is large awkward box shaped cameras. I gotta find the quote again.
Yeah, that's basically it.
It's so good.
Yeah. The bigger and
That
more
was great.
immobile it is, the
Oh my
better it does.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, and then none of the other powers are really explained. We know about Damsel of Distress, and I guess we could look up what
We-
Capricorn could do. He's probably got a
We
wiki
got
page.
into Rain's.
It was
Yeah, we
of
got
Oh
the
yeah,
cluster.
rain.
Yeah.
Rain is a cluster. Yeah, rain's a cluster trigger. That's right. With
Oh yeah, Rain's
Snag,
Yeah.
the person
Yes,
who
yes.
almost beat Victoria.
Yeah.
With not even his main power.
Nope.
Yeah, I do.
My gosh.
You kind of catch because when she's talking to him about it, she catches that it feels like where she's like, oh, wait.
Oops. I was in danger.
Yeah.
Oh, the
my
way
gosh.
Rain was
Yeah.
like tracking when they were strong. I'm very interested in
Yeah.
cluster triggers right now. It's
So
really
cool.
interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, Snag's main power is directional change.
Yeah.
We ran into, who was the person that could do that but to everybody else in Chicago? Was it Topsy Turvy?
Oh,
Yeah, Topsy Turvy. But
Yeah. Okay.
but Snag's main power is a mover, and it's to do that to themselves. And that's
Right.
why he was like flying around through walls and stuff and changing midair. Was not because of the claws grabbing, it's because he could just shift which direction gravity is for him and then lunge that way
Oh, okay.
and then grab with
Pretty
the
good.
claws.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Rain
Okay.
was
2
like, I
plus
used it
4
to not
advice.
fall
Don't
over.
look up.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
Yeah,
plus
we
4
won't.
advice,
Don't worry.
Don't look up anybody's powers.
We won't. We won't.
Oh,
Most
yeah.
likely get explained.
No,
So
no.
yeah, we're not looking up. Only
Never.
looking up people who we've heard of before in Worm is all I would do to remind myself what they do.
And you know what? I
Um,
appreciate y'all keeping us from looking up stuff. That is a
Mhm.
that is
Keeping us
a-
honest, chat.
Oh,
Keeping us
every
honest, we like
time,
that.
when we're like, I can't remember when this happens, yada yada, and you guys all put it in the comments and tell us what we forgot, prevents us from googling it and
From Googling it.
getting a spoiler, which I
Yeah.
know I'm gonna do.
I love that.
So it's great.
I
Yep.
love having
Yeah,
smart people
yeah.
in our chat.
That's-
You guys are the best.
That's always the worst thing, right? When you're like, oh, I want to know what was that character's name, and you're like, you know, the girl in the movie, and it's like, so when the girl in this movie dies, and you're like, I haven't gotten to the
Damn it. God
Yeah.
damn it.
Yeah.
You know? Like I found out. I'm not gonna say who, of course, but a character in Better Call Saul dies at some point. It's a big deal. And because I was like, what is this character? What's going on with them? I Google something about them. It's like, yes, prior to his death, and I'm like, God, every
Dang it.
time.
Hey, don't Google it. No.
Yep,
Yeah,
can't do it.
Yep. Dang
Yep.
Google. But yeah. This is okay, so Damsel.
Yeah, is she not dead?
She died, right?
She's a clone.
We watched her
She's a
die.
clone,
Or,
right?
well,
She's
we,
one of
we,
the
we
clones?
saw her, I think, was she speared on the end of I don't know if we saw her death
I
on
was
screen
pretty
or
sure
off
she
screen,
died.
but I'm pretty sure she got speared by Arms Master when they went downstairs to kill
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure we
Yeah, that's right.
get that described. That's what I was, because I was like, wait, no.
Yeah.
She definitely died. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we
So
see
it's one of the
that
clones,
happen.
right? It's one of the Slaughterhouse
Yeah.
9000.
Yes. That's what
Yeah,
I mean. I'm nodding yes, feeling very assured of myself, but I have definitely assumed that the whole time.
I mean, that would make sense. That would make
because
a lot of sense.
she made a shit ton of clones, and she pulled all of the past members, and and you know, and then I mean I know they hunted down a lot of them, but like it makes sense that Damsel is hanging out.
Just chilling.
Yeah, to Bernard's point in chat, I think it's all but explicitly said that she's a clone. Like
I believe so, yeah.
It's basically just said like, so you died, right? And she's like, yeah, I did, or one of me did, or something like that. Basically,
Yeah.
It's when they're
Yeah.
walking outside, I think.
Yeah. So it's all
Yeah.
but explicitly said that she was one of the Slaughterhouse 9000 clones.
Say
So-
no more, man.
Which makes sense for her MO of kind of like, I'm probably supposed to be a villain, so I'm just gonna learn what I can about being a hero and then become a villain. And everybody else is like, nah, we'll change your
We'll
mind.
convert her.
We can fix her.
Yes, we can fix her, guys. Oh my god.
No, literally, she's like, I'm gonna learn everything about you so I can defeat you. It's great.
Whoops, the sequel. Yeah.
And I love the logic of like, well, you have to help us some, right? Like you can't just go until we fail first, because then you're just
You
going
won't
to
learn
leave
anything.
immediately, because we're obviously going to fail.
Yeah. And to Wonderful Lizard, I still hate the Slaughterhouse 9000 in concept, but following along with that, this is great. You know, if you're gonna have something like
Yeah.
that, it's what makes Wild Bow so good. It's using honestly kind of shitty cliches because they get used so often, and doing them correctly. I think Slaughterhouse 9000's like the lowest probably on those cliches for me, but pays dividends in Ward, so here we are.
It does make me wonder how many other clones are out there of all the other members.
Quite a few survived, if I remember right.
I'm like, didn't like
I
a
thought so.
didn't like a lot of Harbingers survive? Like, is there just a little group of number
Because they
men?
fucked off like immediately, remember?
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's
Oh,
like,
we did the math and this is bullshit?
Well,
we could be.
am I misremembering that the real number man convinced a bunch of them to be on his team?
Yes,
Or
because
am
they
I
all logged
misremembering
into
that?
they all found like places where they could log in because they all know the passwords. Because they're all each other. And then
If I were me, the
Yeah.
password would be this. Yeah.
I did want to say real quick as an aside, thank you, Wonderful Lizard of Oz, for your sympathy and the same Better Call Saul character's death being spoiled.
Dang.
Yeah. So yeah, mainly the Harbinger clones joined. Let's see. Oh, 2+4 has
Yeah.
a quote from Arc 30. I found a members of Bonesaw's Slaughterhouse 9, a mannequin, 2 damsels that were keeping each other company, a night hag Nyx hybrid, and a crawler breed hybrid.
gross.
So those are some
Crawler
of the ones
breed
we know
hybrid. Get the
survived.
fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
about to
thank
say
you.
that's the worst thing Bonesaw
No,
maybe
thank you.
ever made besides Kepri.
Also, that's
So-
I'm assuming Kepri going through all the portals, literally like
yeah, that's
grabbing
Kepri going
people.
through. Yeah,
Yeah.
picking people. Yeah.
Snapping people out. I mean,
Now we don't know which of those survived Gold Morning after
I
she picks
assume
them out,
one of
releases
them didn't. Well, the thing though is like if one of them,
yeah.
if they had both made it, I feel like the damsels would have stuck together. But now that we have one damsel, I assume one of the damsels got hit at Gold Morning,
Maybe.
and this might be the
Probably.
surviving damsel.
Yeah, just 2 damsels in a room playing Russian roulette. Or no. It's 2 damsels in a room doing the Princess Bride poisoning scene. Clearly, you should
Yeah.
drink the wine in front of you, because I would never put the wine in front of
I would never
poison the wine in
pick
front
the
of me.
wine in front
It's
of
them
me.
just arguing the entire time, and then, oh no, yoink!
Yeah.
Yeah. Beefaroni just wrote 2 damsels just hanging out trying to out edge each other.
I read that in a moment of dyslexia, just trying to edge each other out,
Oh.
and to out edge each other. That out edge each other. Definitely
I don't.
keeping
What-
each
what
other
did you mean by
company.
Good, you're good.
Trying to
Beefaroni.
out
It's
edge
Keeping each
fine.
other
other.
company,
It's
you know.
fine. Look, we know.
I mean, listen.
we can all
Listen,
encounter
keeping
what
each
we
other
like to.
company, keeping each other company is a choice phrase. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't think you're
Who's
necessarily on the wrong.
Come
track.
on, tell me you and the boys haven't been hanging out in the dorm room trying to out edge each other.
We all know what we would do with our own clones, right? Look.
Just a bunch of gooners.
Uh,
Okay, we gotta move on. Michael's
See, I
just
think
like,
I think
can't
people
with you.
neglect, with the classic clone case of would you
Okay, if
fight
it's a
them,
clone.
fuck them.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Honestly, I don't want to do either. I want to game with them. Be like, oh, sick! All
You're
these
still
multiplayer
wholesome.
games.
I
I have
remember you
access
can't
to.
spell game without gay. Anyway, next chapter.
Gay for me.
Next one, gay for me. Where we at? 2.6. Victoria chats with the teams about the harder side of heroics. Rain's cluster is after him. She connects the dots to snag. Damsel plans to return to villainy. Capricorn is a K70. Vicky is team coach. Lots of important character beats. We've kind of touched on a lot of this already. I think one of the big things we didn't talk about were the Boston games. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the idea is
yeah.
basically like the PRT was so good in Boston, they just eliminated crime from Boston for a brief moment. And
Yeah.
then every other villain team was like,
Created a vacuum.
shoot, Boston's up for grabs now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it created a vacuum, and
Which
everyone went to fill the hole.
sounds, oh man, it
That's
sounds crazy. You
hilarious.
know what they say about holes?
About
Yeah.
filling holes.
That's right.
Especially in
Yeah, put
Chicago.
concrete
you know
in
what I
'em.
mean? Concrete.
Yeah, that's what I call a deep dish right there.
Mm.
It's
With
getting late.
regard
We're getting
to-
tired. We gotta move on.
I know.
Keep us
With
going, Jacob.
regard to Capricorn, did I understand they were unique? Not every twin pair that triggers gets, but they did because they were.
I think it's if they're touching.
They were. Okay.
They were
I think that's what
tips, and then
Victoria says. That's not what I said. No,
They
no,
were
no.
keeping each other company,
They were
trying to
Stop
out-edge
it.
each other.
No, Alan, stop. No, but she said something about that. Like it's. Sorry, I'm sorry. I was reading the chat. But I think it's when they're touching. That's what makes the like shoop thing happen.
Yeah.
So what happens to normal twins when they did it mention that? I was trying to remember if I skipped over.
So he said it kind of depends. Like it varies. There's not quite a clear science to it. Because he said like twins, if a twin triggers, typically their twin will also trigger, and they get similar or like close enough powers. And which is kind of an interesting theory in terms of the shards maybe have something to do with genetics, because that for identical twins at least that would make more sense.
There was at one point in
shards
time,
kind of,
I forget which character it was, but there was, and there's all the way back in Worm, but there's a character where the shard is seeking out somebody, and it sees a father and daughter getting mugged, and it was going to the dad, but it gets confused and jumps into the daughter because the DNA was so close.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then 2+ pointed out Fenya and Menya have the same power but are two different people because
interesting. Yeah,
they're sisters that are close enough. Because I don't think they're twins.
They were twins.
No, they weren't twins. Yeah, but yeah, if they're touching in some way,
was
then
that Imp, Bernard?
Maybe.
What was it?
Oh,
Imp is the shard that you're talking about.
Maybe I don't remember.
Maybe.
I mean, it's similar to what happened to Taylor, right?
Yeah, that
like
was
the shard was seeking out Danny, but then grabbed Taylor.
Of course,
that's just a theory?
That's just completely made up. Yeah, it's not confused. It was just decided Imp was a better host than her dad. Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Aisha.
Yeah, and J-Man makes a good point. Like now, in relation to the Boston games, that's probably why most PRTs now, they like, Tattletale says, we play this game with each other where, we commit some crime, the heroes stop us, 3 strikes here, and there's kind of a balance of power there. And yeah, interesting. I don't know, it's so interesting just seeing that idea. And yeah, he said there are other ways that they can get merged, which are probably less enjoyable even maybe than what he and Byron experience, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And I wonder, and this
merged.
isn't just me trying to have some sort of sick fantasy going on, but I wonder if twins could potentially have group triggers too, being both K70 and a group trigger, and how Kiss Kill works into that.
There you go. Not good, I imagine.
No,
that's
not
where
good.
you get like you get the family of like the 2 twins who also marry 2 twins and have kids who look identical, and then they have a group trigger.
Oh,
the Brady Bunch triggers.
I was like, ugh, it just sounds like new wave but worse.
I was about to say it's kind of given the Dallin family just a little bit.
Old wave.
Yeah. Wonderful Lizard said it's
Bad
fun
wave.
fan generating K70s. I can imagine okay, take a pair of twins and like imagine what that could be like. It's interesting. But yeah, the problems that Tristan points out of like even just basic things. He's like, I'm kind of a partier. Byron was not. I want to go do things, but Byron's always watching. A little awkward. I feel like you got to start leaving notes for each other, guys. Like I don't know if you do that already.
Like how do you communicate?
You got to pull the memento thing.
Twin?
Okay, we've all seen Your Name, so we know how some of that works with the body swapping. Also, Memento, another classic.
I imagine you just keep a journal and you just like write notes to each other.
Severance, come on.
You just say it out loud, I guess.
Swap whenever they want, right? They're just in agreement, so they could just have a conversation with themselves and just swap.
Yeah,
right.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Probably.
Which once again, Severance.
Like 2-hour increments.
Right,
Also, Bernard, that was not said yet. Really got to keep ourselves in check there.
Yeah.
And I read it too, so now I know. Bernard.
I mean, yeah,
That's all right.
Bernard, you play with
I think
fire
it's
a lot over
interesting-
there.
I think it's interesting the hair thing. That he has.
yeah.
His hair is like magenta, and then Byron's used to be blue, but he doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah, I do.
Which I
yeah.
love.
Not about that life.
Yeah.
We got the.
Oh, man.
They got of all of them. I think I'm most sympathetic for them right now. Rain's a close second. That sounds rough, but
Yeah.
I don't think that beats absorbing your twin.
Yeah, that's
Or
pretty
being
bad.
absorbed
Yeah.
by your
Yeah.
twin.
Yeah,
I will-
Where most
I will
people
say
do that
for
in the
Rain-
womb. You know.
Yeah. Sheesh. For Rain, what sucks, I feel like, is he's like, yeah, I was part of a group cluster trigger, but I kind of got the worst powers.
Yeah.
And now they want to
Yeah.
kill me. It's like,
And he can't
That's so
even because like
unfortunate.
he's like I can't
Yeah.
even use like all the other powers. I just get a really weak version of them. Like I can
Yeah.
build mechanical arms, but they fall apart. It's like
They can only
Yeah.
hold like up to 2 pounds.
he's like,
Yeah.
I can make you feel like a little angsty if you're not paying attention.
what is he? Is he?
These-
Remind me. I'm getting confused. Is he the one whose main power is he can make things brittle, or whatever
Yes.
it is? That's
Yes.
him. Okay. Yeah. Also, kind of a shit power. Sorry, Rain. You just got a rough draw there, bud. It happens.
Yeah, that could be a really good power. Like it's sort of the opposite of Lord of Lost, where when he repeats things, it gets stronger and stronger. You
Right.
could those combined, you could really do some
True.
damage. Where he like makes it weak, and then
Yeah.
just absolutely punches it half the amount he has to before.
Him and
Also,
Falk would be
2+ adding.
yes, thank
With
you
the
for
Kiss Kill
reading that.
70 thing, one of the other cases, 70s that Tristan lists off is called House of Three, which is based in Quebec. And House of Three in French, ménage à trois, which is we all
Menage a
know
trois.
is a nice word for a threesome.
Yeah.
There
Goodness.
you go.
Ooh,
What? I mean,
triplets.
it's a great
triplets
name.
getting
It's a
combined
great
into
name.
one.
It's a great
Ooh.
name. Well done on the naming.
You know what
I
I
will say, gosh,
could
I'm
imagine?
constantly
I'm sorry, you were imagining the triplets, Nick?
No, I was thinking like in
Uh-huh.
terms of superheroes. When I think of triplets, the first 3 that come to mind are the Powerpuff Girls. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
so I'm imagining.
Yeah.
What I'm
I just never
imagining
thought
though is
about
like
them as
you
triplets,
take
but
the personalities of the 3 Powerpuff Girls, right, and put them into one body, and they're like constantly flipping. Where it's like,
That's probably an
it's-
episode.
probably, yeah.
Should be.
Which, speaking of which, according to a lot of power rankings, the 3 Powerpuff Girls could pretty much take on most superhero universes.
Oh,
They are
yeah.
pretty
They're
powerful.
strong as hell.
Yeah, they're hard to
Yeah.
beat.
Not
Like
surprised.
somebody's like, who would win like Conquest from Invincible versus the 3 Powerpuff Girls? And they're like, bro, Bubbles solos Conquest. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So,
Anyway,
yeah,
I'm
good times,
I'm all
good
here,
times.
Coach Victoria, once again.
I love it.
My favorite. I love coaching, and having Coach Victoria as our main. I've always wanted to write a story that's just the
Mhm.
mentor character.
Yeah.
Leading the adventure, helping the adventurer or the adventurers along. And this is just that. It's hey guys, let me tell you now how to not
I feel
fuck
like
this up.
Coach Vicky just has it. Oh, that's got a good ring
Coach
to
Vicky.
Coach
Yeah.
Vicky, she's got a jacket. She's got a jacket that says Coach on the back, and like there's like a bank robbery they're foiling, and like,
Yes,
hey, are
yes.
you gonna step in? She's like, no, you got this. Like, I'm not gonna step in until it gets out of control. And the villains are like, what are
Love
you
it.
doing over there? Like, I'm just coaching,
Now I'm just imagining her as like the football coach on the sideline, like, go left, go
Yeah.
left.
What are you doing?
It's the
Yeah,
thing
wanna
where they.
lose?
She's got the
It's-
clipboard and she like
Yeah, I was
snaps
just
it
about
over
to
her
say,
leg.
It's that.
Takes the headphones off, slams
hold
it
on,
on the
hold
Takes the
ground.
headphones off.
Yep.
Jessica Yamada's there to like
Yeah.
be the person who like grabs them by the jacket to like pull them out of traffic. So that yeah, gym teacher Vicky. That's
Great.
exactly what I mean.
Gym
Rain,
teacher
put me in,
Vicky,
coach.
yep,
Rain,
Me and
we'll
coach.
get you in there. We'll get you in there eventually, Rain. Somewhere near the end of the season.
Yeah. Rain,
That's
today's
not
not a
a
good day
fighting
for you.
manager.
We gotta wait for one of your strong days.
Rain is just Rudy,
You know.
but he can't even at
Oh.
the end.
No.
Yep.
Alan, why?
They have the big climactic moment at the end of Rudy, but Rain just runs out into the field to go fight, get his tackle, and just gets obliterated. It's just yeah. The reverse.
Pigeon Boy adds, and Tattletale is the rival
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah.
Wow, we'll get there. We'll get there.
It's like
100.
goes to do like the whispering
Yeah.
behind the thing so you can't lip read, but she's like, I already know what you're saying. Damn it.
Just standing
I can
menacingly
smell
on the
you.
opposite side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, man.
smirking,
We
and you're
know
just
what you
like,
meant, Pigeon.
fucking hater,
Don't worry.
fucking hater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Whew.
Yeah, but I'm excited. I'm excited.
Nice.
Yeah.
We have Kenzie's serious moment, right, where she's like, "Oh, I'm happy, bubbly," and then she's like, "Do not leave me out of this." She gives
Poor
she gives me
thing.
strong like this is wrong to say, but she gives me the vibe of like I will hurt myself. Like, do not leave me out of this. Like,
No, I
oh my gosh,
definitely
child,
worry about
please.
her emotional state. Like we've seen
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
We've seen her in Glowworm. You know.
Is
be
she
a
the
little.
one that made all the bots, or was that
I
somebody
think
else?
so. I
Yep.
think that's her.
Was that Kenzie? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it upsets me
Yeah.
that she's going home to have dinner with her family, and yet here she needs to have a fake mom that hugs her, says nice things to
Yeah.
her. That worries me
Yeah.
a little. I'm not gonna lie. When she started talking about going home for dinner, I was like, "Oh no, Kenzie!"
And she's like
Kenzie,
immediately
no!
in her phone doing things. You know?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sweet pea.
Is
feel
Kenzie
like.
also the one where somebody? Sorry to interrupt you, Hannah. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, please go ahead.
He's like, "Hey, you know your activity's like visible, right? And we can see you've been online literally all day." And I'm like, "No."
Probably.
Aw.
Is that her? I'm pretty sure that's her.
It probably is.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Gosh.
that's
Yeah,
rough.
felt
That's
bad. But good character development. I'm very invested in all of these
Good character
characters now.
development.
Well done.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh,
For
I
sure.
like sorry, are we in chapter what are we at? Chapter we in now?
Yeah,
we were in
we're up
5.
to-
2 point.
We're kind of or no, we're in 6. We're in 6. We're kind of bleeding
Yeah.
into 7 as well.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
yeah. Let's just get into 7 because
Yeah,
we
we'll
gotta
get there.
wrap this shit up.
Okay.
I'm my head's
Yeah,
starting to hurt a little bit.
2.7. Yeah, we'll go quick. 2.7 group meetings wraps up. Friends catch up and field trips are planned and explored. Old acquaintances are not forgotten.
Ah, yes. Yeah, before we get there, I do like favorite random side character of the arc is definitely it's Rain's friend, right? What's her
Aaron.
name?
Yeah.
Aaron. Yeah. I'm getting
Yeah.
there was too much time given to her to just be like just a nobody. So I'm curious what her deal is. I'm assuming
Mhm.
we'll get back to her.
I love the conversation too where Victoria's like, poor Rain. Or no, Sveta's like, poor Rain, and Victoria's like, you mean because he's about to sit in the car in an hour and a half with a girl he clearly likes?
Yeah.
And she's like,
Yeah.
oh, I meant like the group cluster stuff, but yeah, that's like
Yeah.
And like Victoria
right.
notices was like Rain did a terrible job hiding his interest.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
right up.
And by interest, do you mean
Okay.
boner?
Yeah,
Ow.
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Also, chat. Watch yourself with Kenzie. I'm keeping an eye on y'all. Let's not get too spoilery here.
I've got to let these
come
guys
to the
read can't
Patreon.
even look at the chat.
Yeah, just go to the Patreon.
Yeah,
and
just
talk.
don't join the Patreon.
There's a
so
word
you
spoiler
all talk
Patreon.
spoilers together and not spoil things for Hannah. And I mean everyone else too, but
$1. $1 is lowest tier.
That's $1 a word.
Yeah. It's old texting
No.
style where you got to pay credits for this,
Pay,
like
pay by the
penny per
yeah.
character.
Yeah.
I have a little theory on the little characters here, and it's with our what is it 6-ish characters that we have. I'm trying to remember, but like, how do they correspond as like combinations of our Undersiders as a team?
Oh, fun. Okay.
So like
Mhm.
the idea that like Chris is clearly our regent type. Um, Kenzie is like a combination of imp and tattletale.
Yeah.
Vic is kind of this weird like Taylor plus Brian and a little bit of tattletale too. Where
Mhm.
she's, clearly got all the Taylor energy, but also like the calm, like Brian, like, hey, let's take this calm and coach this, but also the Taylor, like, we got to do something. Um, Chris has also got a little of that bitch in there too. Rain is actually kind of got strong Taylor. I got bullied energy.
No.
Mm.
Let's see who else. Who else we got? Tristan. Tristan is strong tattletale, like face energy.
Yeah.
Ashley.
Oh, I talk too much.
And then Ashley is absolutely, strong bitch.
A
Plus,
little bit,
like
yeah.
I got
Plus Taylor.
a little bit of plus Taylor. Yeah.
See, I
Yeah.
got for Ashley, I was thinking more bitch or regent, like kind of a mixture of those.
Yeah,
Whereas
definitely
Chris is
bitch
more
with
just
the like.
Chris is more
intimidating.
just bitch because he's like the whatever. I'm not gonna talk. I don't need
Well,
this.
I would have
you
gone
know?
like teen too, like the regent, like, oh,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
fucking dorks, and Chris definitely has that like,
See,
oh man,
Rain kind of had more of the regent vibes for me in the sense of like, yeah, people want to kill me. It sucks. You could really use your, like he's much
Yeah.
more the like straightforward. I don't know, but yeah, Ashley, they're so interesting. It's interesting how they are hard. You can't do that 1-to-1 exactly, of course, because they're all much more unique and different in their own ways. But very fun.
It is fun.
Very fun.
Similar tropes.
If they became a superhero group, what would their group name be? Asks Fran. Yeah, group therapy is a good one. For
Yeah.
group therapy.
get help.
Group therapy. Get help.
Yeah.
Honestly,
No.
I know Discord I think was a hero, but I feel like the Discord is also like a good group name.
They could
Not
be
for
IRL.
heroes, maybe
Group
though. It's kind
chat.
of
Group
yeah,
chat
the group
or
chat.
something.
The group
Incels
chat.
in distress.
Incels in distress.
I'm sure Ashley would love to keep something about distress in the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
The wards.
No, not the.
I'm trying to think of,
not the
like-
wards.
Like
Wow,
That's
that's
the
a
name of-
stupid team name. Who would ever name their team that?
instead of I'm trying to think of like instead of Charlie's.
Victoria's babies.
Yamada's-
Yeah,
Yamada's
Victoria's. Oh, yeah, definitely Yamada's.
It's like
something,
Yamada's
yeah.
angels, but it's Yamada's cherubs.
Yeah.
Yamada's cherubs.
A bunch of precious little babies.
Yamada's dysfunctional.
Glory girls.
Awesome.
Glory
Glory
I
girls.
do hope-
Oof.
Glory girls goons. No.
Oh,
Glory
the
girls.
goon squad.
No.
All right, guys, let's get in there and goon all over the place.
I was
Go,
reading
go.
something that was like it's like there's not many good words for like your underlings anymore, like henchmen is too gender specific. When you say minions, all anybody thinks about is the weird yellow people, and
Yeah.
let's not even talk about goons.
Yeah. Ooh.
Wait a minute. Was Chad trying to get us to check off a bingo square by making us come up with team names? It feels like a bingo square.
Maybe.
Did we just get got?
Was it?
It was not
maybe,
a bingo
maybe.
square.
Oh,
I will say, J-Man,
Suicide
to
Watch
the point
Squad.
about saying,
I like it.
yeah, Suicide Watch Squad, that's
no.
good. To
To
J-Man's point, he said he loved Ashley. She was hilarious. I do hope she turns out to be a good guy solely because if so, then it gives strong Captain Dread Pirate Roberts, where it's like,
Yeah.
good morning,
Yeah.
good evening, good work. Most likely kill you in the morning. You know?
Yep. I do
Like, I
want.
just
I
hope
want
they're
if
like,
she's good.
Ashley
I
says
do
that every
want-
day, but
Yeah, I want the constant threat of her turning evil, but she does never.
Yeah.
Does.
Yeah.
that would be great.
Same.
it's like, well, good work, team. Good evening. I'll most likely betray you in the morning.
Yeah.
Just every
It's
day
great. It's
for
great.
3 years.
Let's see. What else do I got here? The phone menu
Yeah.
is also the same concentric ring, like the PCOS. So we had that. I love the consistency of the operating systems in this universe.
Right.
Let's see. Ooh, Aaron. Victoria. Yeah, Byron's not my type because I don't date soy boy beta cucks.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. That was also, we're going back into like little
paraphrasing.
bitchy attitude. Her like
Yeah.
totally noticing Byron's look, and then also Ashley's look, and just like Victoria, I'm like, listen, girl, calm down. Okay.
Chill, please.
Look. I'm just gonna throw it out
Unfortunately,
here.
The hot girl knows she's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, hot girl knows she's hot.
Classic Victoria.
Also, when do you think the last time she did anything was? You know?
Oh my God, no, nothing. Years. Gallant.
Well,
So real quick, was the
I
last
mean-
thing that anything happened was Amy?
Oh
Probably,
no,
yeah,
Alan.
Probably.
I knew that's where
Oh
you're going.
no.
I
I mean, yeah,
freaking
I'd
knew it.
assume so.
Oh.
Also, that was
Nice.
like what, 4 years ago?
And good night,
I
folks.
hate
That'll be it.
Yep.
We're done.
Oh, I hate it.
Oh,
Please,
on that note.
no. Please,
No, but I did get
no.
in like a real sense, because she talks so much about Gallant in this arc
Mm-hmm.
It
that
really
like
does.
she's still very much still in love with him.
Oh,
which
for
is so sad.
sure.
But no, I got the sense that she obviously hasn't had any serious relationship of any kind since
No.
then.
Yeah.
Let's see.
For
To
Rough.
confirm, because this was a big thing, a talking point. I remember from Worm. Director Armstrong was a director for Boston.
Oh,
That was up
right.
in the air,
Mm.
but confirmed.
Yeah. Weld's old.
Weld
Yes.
was a Boston ward at first, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Let us
Yep,
not,
he
let
was-
us not forget. Weld has a Boston accent.
Well, I'm trying.
Never forget.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jacob. Thank
Um,
you. That's usually my role to bring that up.
I love this
Yep.
quote from Aaron.
Hey, Victoria, good to see
oh
you.
Is that your Boston?
Something like
accent?
that.
What
It's
do
like
you
a
think
little
Boston
Italian.
accent?
Uh,
That's what they call Boston, Little Italy.
little. I was gonna say you had the
Little
four
Italy, yep.
strong, New York Italian thrown there, which honestly is pretty
a
similar.
little
to
bit
Boston,
to
so
New York.
You know
Yeah.
what? We'll let it slide.
We have, if you want to know what a Boston accent is, I believe the best example is, correct me if I'm wrong, what's that bald redheaded comedian?
Bill Burr.
Yes.
Bill Burr.
Am I correct in saying
I
that
was
he
gonna
is
say
the
you said
Boston
bald redheaded.
Uh,
That's-
Bill Burr kind of does. I would say if you wanna watch a movie with a great one, My Cousin, great one.
Yeah.
Of course.
My
Of
cousin Vinny.
course.
Just
How
watch
can I
some
forget?
clips from My Cousin Vinny of the character
I
Vinny.
see a cat.
good.
Yeah.
Vinny's
Or
It's
his
Joe
girlfriend
Pesci.
played by Marissa Tomei.
But Joe Pesci,
Yeah.
yeah. But that's
Yeah.
that's New York. That's a strong New York accent.
I was thinking the same thing, 2+4.
Although-
I think I mouthed that question out loud when Alan
Like
said
half
He
of
has a
Matt
red
Damon's movie.
beard, guys.
Yeah,
He
how
has a
do I
red
know that
beard
Michael
like Michael.
here is red hair?
Beards are still
Well, because-
hair.
Because Michael has no soul.
Your head.
I don't know if you
Oh
know
my
this.
this.
god.
So off track here.
Yeah,
And
okay.
Bernard, you're right. Boston accent isn't a real accent. They made that up for Ward. My favorite quote
Ow.
from this thing was Aaron. You look a lot like Glory Girl. I was.
I was.
Something about that makes me feel like this is the whole of Ward. It just tickles me pink.
I love that she saw it immediately and immediately called it out. Like she wasn't like in her head about it. She was like, "You look like Glory Girl." She's like, "I was." Like, "Oh, cool." And then they move on. Like
Yep.
I that's a good interaction.
You know what's not a good interaction? When she gets a note handed to her that just says, "Hey, Glory Hole."
Oh,
Yep.
So good.
Oh
That was
my
so
god.
good.
Like
Best
here's the
way to
thing.
end an arc.
I love Tattletale. But in that moment, I hated Tattletale. Now listen, bitch. Listen.
No,
We like
it's so
Victoria
good.
now. There's no
I
need to
mean-
be such a cunt.
Listen, she had to use the signature line, right?
Yeah.
She had to.
Like she
because
had to use
otherwise-
the signature line.
Exactly. We needed to know. it
Otherwise,
was
how do you
her.
know?
So good.
Yeah.
But also
Exactly.
we know how Tattletale's power works loosely. So we
Mhm.
know like at some point that day after like 4 years, all of a sudden she was just like, nice.
I've been hanging on to this one since before the end of the world. I've been hanging on to this one.
I love it.
Okay, so here's a prediction of something I wouldn't be looking forward to in one sense. We talked a lot in Worm about how Tattletale's power, her mouth gets her, like, is her power, but it gets her in trouble, right? Because she's always like smack talking people, and then she almost dies most of the time because of it. Like with Jack, with Glory Girl, even where it's like, oh, talking smack, slashed in the neck. I can foresee if Tattletale is much the same person she was before, we could get some really nasty psychological warfare from Tattletale. Now with Glory Girl as the protagonist, it'll hit a little bit differently.
And we know...
I'm very interested to see. I'm very interested to see how Tattletale acts as an antagonist now rather than an ally to our protagonist.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, because
she hired a guy named Cleet, so like she can't be doing that well.
Well, no. Cleet called her.
Right.
This is Cleet's town. And Cleet was like, "Hey, I need to go to the baddest badass that I know for info. Who do you go to? You go to Tattletale." Speaking all the way back to that coaching thing. So far we have kind of set that up where we've got Victoria coaching, group therapy over here with one of the people from that group cluster. But we also have the cluster person over in that community group wrecking crew that was run by Tattletale. They had the earpieces where she was feeding them information, literally coaching them.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't talk much about that at all with the negotiations, the theocratic society on Earth, what have your name. We didn't talk much about that at all. Actually,
that's the
next one. Interlude.
Is that the interlude? Oh, that's the interlude, right? That was.
If we feel comfortable, my last
we feel comfortable
line...
putting rocks in our eyes.
Yeah, I think that was after all the Amy stuff.
Yeah.
And to end that section, I have the quote at the end. I just love it. "This is how things are now," and then fuck that.
Yeah.
Victoria just can't let that shit slide.
It's so good. We're so back.
Real quick, before we get to the interlude, in the 7 arcs, by my count, I only found one. Fuck me. Can anybody guess what chapter it was in?
Oh, is it during the cluster?
I was gonna say it had to be during the cluster trigger.
2 + 4 got a bingo. We'll have to see what it was first.
Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Any guesses?
I think
Jacob is right on the right track.
Okay.
Oh, they sent it in the Patreon chat. I think this might have been some. Let's see. We've got Crystal Clear's eyes, which chat y'all were cooking for trying to get them to cook on those. But good for you, bingo. Crystal Clear's eyes, glowworm user confusion. These fallen are going to become a problem. Bashing shortcut. And we'll read all of them at the end.
All right.
Okay. Well done.
I will say, when I did say the rocks in the eyes, that was actually a thing I read in chat earlier. It was after we were talking about Amy, and then I was thinking about it. I was like, we do need to move on. Let's get some rocks in our eyes. So.
Yep.
I feel like that was a fishing word.
And let's move on to the rocks in the eyes then.
Yeah, rocks.
What happened?
Oh, it was 2.4. 2.4 is the one.
It was 2.4. Okay.
2.4. Yeah.
Wait, which one was 2.4? What happened to 2.4?
This is the one instance of fuck me in the arc.
Oh, it's the broken trigger.
Triggers.
Yeah,
I literally have on my own broken trigger, man. Fuck me. Unrelated, but I should have known.
You should have known.
You're right on the money.
It's seeping in.
Also, well done. 2 + 4.
Wonderland over here has a double bingo
Oh.
with let's see, bashing shortcut, who is damsel of distress, visceral reaction to brain nail, and glowworm user confusion, as well as these fallen are going to become a problem. The Sveta Weld Squee, visceral reaction to brain nail, and Crystal Clear's eyes.
Nice. Those are so
very
good.
nice. Well done. Well done. These are great.
Hot diggity dog.
Great bingos.
All right. So
yeah, read us that interlude.
2x the interlude.
Yeah.
Crystal Clear starts his first day at Foresight, but it proves to be a bigger deal than anticipated. Ratcatcher is introduced.
Hell
Yes.
yeah.
I did say that Kenzie was my second favorite cape introduced because Ratcatcher is my first favorite.
I love Ray.
Mm.
Absolute immediate first favorite cape. It's gonna be hard to beat for a while.
I did wonder if Ratcatcher had any kind of weird connection with Mouse Protector because
I was also wondering.
Same
it
vibes.
made me. Yeah. Also, I love that she's just got a rat in her pocket. Like,
Just got one. Yep.
it
why
made
not?
me so happy.
She
Just her
probably
carrying around
caught
a
it.
little rat in her pocket.
Yeah. I like
I
that
love it.
that it's explicitly noted that when she wakes the rat is not unhappy. The rat's fine.
Yeah, he's
Like,
like,
yeah.
chill.
Just like, all right.
There's somebody who
You
used to
have
have
Yeah,
rats. They're great.
Love it.
Just this line from her where she's like, Rasputin, the attractive older gentleman in the peacoat, hairy earth and eyelashes to die for. Something thrown in the coat. Naughty.
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 And we keep the colorful commentary
Great.
down.
Yeah, minimize colorful commentary.
It's so funny. I
over
love
the
it.
radio. I see Ratcatchers on comms. Oh, it's great. No. And once again,
Ratcatcher.
the interlude chapters are
Nailing it.
just my favorite chapters.
They're so
Like,
Nailing
good.
it.
They're so good. Just I don't know what it is, if it's just the alternate perspectives, a little bit of world building. I think Wildbow just has more fun writing the interludes. Maybe he feels less constrained.
feels
Or
like
I
it.
don't know what it is, but I love reading the interlude
Mm.
chapters. They're always so much fun.
Just a blast.
Yeah.
Just a blast.
Just
Yeah.
a blast.
Just the blast.
Um,
Yep.
Also,
yeah.
I know we've talked about like if you had a power, what would your power be? I too wish to carry around a small woodland creature, or city creature in this case, in
Yeah.
my pocket at all times. Like that is the dream.
On cool powers, we're gonna touch on cool powers, I'm sure, at the end. But Wildbow does it again. Big Picture's power is
Yeah.
fantastic.
So
What
cool.
a great power! Like,
Yeah.
can just focus on something for as long as he wants to, as long as it takes. What a great.
Well,
I was
It's
like,
more than that too, right? It says everything I want to focus on, I clone my brain and my mind. I can give each
Yeah.
and every detail every bit of my attention, and I can slow down my perceptions if I want to study
Cool.
it more.
Yeah.
So it's
I loved how
in a way,
Ratcatcher's
it's-
accent was creeping into your description there.
was it? Oh man. I
Yeah,
can't
you
help it.
started to like slowly do the lift.
Everything I want to focus on, I clone my brain and my mind. Anyways, yeah, but just the idea that it's sort of like, it reminds me of Coil's power only in the sense of like the split mind thing,
yeah.
where it's
Yes.
he's like, okay, my mind is here, but also here, but also here, but also here.
Yeah.
Very cool power, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
If for those of you who read the King Killer series, it sounds a lot like the Ailers, which is a person, in order to do magic, figures out how to split their mind, and they practice by hiding something in their mind from another part of their mind. And the more Ailers you can do, like, the stronger you basically are. And this sounds like he can do Ailers, where he's just like, oh yeah, if I need to solve a problem, I break that part of my mind off and I set it to work doing that, and it can take as much time as it wants. And I'm like, oh, but also, how do you cook, Hot Pockets without a microwave? Set a part of your brain to do that, and like he could just do that infinitely.
Yeah, it's great. What a fun power.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the setting here where they're obviously talking. What's the other Earth?
Chite.
Chite.
Kite.
Right. Yeah. Kite.
Kite.
Correct, please, chat, whatever that is. But it's basically, you get the sense that, I don't know, I don't think they really say it about the other side, but you get the sense that both sides have like their thinkers in the back, just like watching everything,
Yes.
just keeping an eye on things.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
get that. Yeah.
I also love, and chat, don't talk about this yet because I'm sure we'll figure it out. But I really love that this is a thinker power, but for some reason it feels like, once again, how unique this thinker power is you're a super smart individual not because you have enhanced intelligence, but because you have a multi-dimensional or parallel dimensional cloning ability.
Right.
So it's like it's essentially like Sator's quantum ability, where like, you know,
yeah.
where he's like shifting through the powers to heal, but this guy's kind of doing, some weird quantum cloning going on inside his head to solve problems. We're like, oh, that's a really cool way to make a hyper intelligent character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I do agree a little bit with J-Man that it felt like Crystal Clear was more here just to be an observer for us for this arc.
Yeah, definitely.
It
Shows
was
a
kind of
character that
cool
we've
seeing a
seen
little bit of
before.
his power.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so Earth Shite. Yeah, I almost called it Shite.
You call it
Yeah,
shite.
You did.
Yeah.
Good job.
Earth Shite,
Yeah.
which sounds like Shite with a theocratic ruler, whatever that means. Who doesn't want to talk to Sierra? We get a call back to Sierra, which is fun.
Yay! That made me so happy.
And yeah, just seeing that again, it's like, I do love the analysis though, where he's like, Sierra running for mayor or governor of the city. Seems like it's not going to work out though. Probably has alternative motives.
Yeah, has ties to like some villain groups. Like probably
I love
won't
we
win.
see Sierra again. I love that
So
she's
good,
gone from
Sierra.
like dreadlock hippie, college student kind of like alt, to so I'm basically running to be in charge of the city.
A fine, upstanding citizen running for mayor. I love it. I want her to win so bad. She probably won't, but like I want her to, just to.
Yeah. Also for Earth Kite, it just sounds at this point in time like was it Margaret Atwood's handmaid? Like, what if they also had some superpowers there?
Handmaid's Tale, yeah. Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
Very strong that vibes.
Maybe I wasn't sure that they had powers there actually.
They do.
Kind of sounded like
very few.
Yeah, it sounded
Okay,
like
gotcha.
they're just better, like they're
They're just
healthier. they're more people, they're more organized, weren't hit as hard as Gimel.
Vic.
Hey,
Yeah.
Vic.
Oh,
Welcome.
Kite.
Sorry.
Yeah.
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 Go ahead.
Yeah, I think yeah, the alternate history, and because part of what they wanted, right, was basically just leave us alone. Like, we'll give you supplies and you
They
don't
wanted
bother us to hurt
goodwill.
us.
And don't
Yeah.
implode.
Goodwill.
Don't implode so
Yeah.
badly that we have to fix it.
Yeah.
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 I love
Yeah,
that
yeah,
she's
interesting.
here too. Totally lurking in the back. I see you.
Yeah, very very interested to see. Obviously, this is setting up to be a pretty major plot point, so I'm very curious how this plays out. Do love seeing we got Narwhal on scene. Narwhal.
Yay!
Yes, I love that the crystal seer is like, damn those crystals though.
I know.
She
I
is
loved it so
looking
much.
Fine.
Stylish.
He's looking fine.
Of course, the
I
crystal
love
guy
it.
just sees the crystals.
Yeah.
I love that so much. Actually, that was really fun. Ugh.
Definitely getting some vibes that well, not vibes, it's confirmed. Like Weld is deep within the know. He knows what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like I'm
Yeah.
proud of our boy. Yeah.
I see. He's such a.
done.
Yeah.
What a boy. What a boy.
Well
So-
well done.
Yeah.
Is,
Oh my
is there
God.
is there a hint? Clever. Okay, is there a hint at the end that Crystal Clear gives that the PRT, the Wardens, like this new group that Weld and Narwhal are part of, they have kind of their fingers in all of the groups that are active, it sounds like.
Hero
Because that's what
guys,
he's
if you will.
saying, right? Is he's like, yeah, like I'm with Foresight, but you, the bigger group, you're asking Foresight to watch these people. So what are the Advanced Guard and the Attendant doing? Which are other quote unquote independent hero groups. Is that kind of the?
Yeah, which
Did I pick up on that
That was
correctly?
that was the
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah.
absolutely,
okay.
because the attendant are like watching, like the refugee camps, They're like the Fallen we're recruiting from. I think that's the attendant and like the shepherds that we're gonna like fold into each other. So it's like
Yeah.
really we're just rebuilding the PRT. Like
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. But with a little bit more autonomy maybe for the individual.
less constraints.
Blackjack and hookers.
Yeah.
Build our
I'll
own
build my own
PRT.
PRT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Thinker issues. Oh yeah. Oh, another because we've talked about being like classic brute. We've talked about mover like in previous things like, oh, that must be that mover mentality. And here we have thinker issues. I really hate being out of the loop. And mover mentality, like always have to be on the move. I do really like that we are, mentioning these small things and kind of, hinting at them and sometimes explaining them.
Pros and cons with every power.
Yeah. I imagine brutes probably just as a result of their power dislike complications. They prefer simplicity, because if I can hit it, then I can solve the problem. I like that.
Very
Which kind of
barbaric.
makes sense if you think about like was Ballistic a brute? No, what was he?
Ballistic?
Ballistic was a striker, technically.
Yeah.
Striker. Okay, never mind. Well, maybe strikers and brutes are similar in that way then. I
They're
was just
kind of
thinking
similar.
of who's a character who's like, give me the simple answer, show me where to punch and I'll do it. And
Or
Ballistic
I guess
in mind.
somewhere like a
Bitch.
striker blaster, because it did have to make
Yeah,
contact, but also
right.
long distance.
I will
generally.
say
he would have
there's a
been
lot
both.
of category names I've forgotten when it comes to powers.
Yes. Well, I'm sure we'll go over them, or
They'll come up.
Victoria will go over them because
I'm
fucking
sure
nerd.
she will.
Victoria will explain them.
The
Go-
power
go
levels
tricky.
on this are actually a breaker form if you really think about it.
Actually.
Actually,
You're
almost
actually
everybody
real
has.
Go to
We've
bed.
done it all.
Okay, favorite powers. We'll go through this real quick.
Okay. All right.
Favorite power is tough, but I'm gonna give it to Big Picture for this one. I think it's just a real fun power.
I'll second yours, by the way. I also big picture for me.
Yeah, big picture is cool. We didn't really see many new powers
We
exemplified
really
here.
didn't.
Yeah, true.
We had some
So-
new people, but we didn't really get to see all their
Yeah,
powers
new
all that
people,
much.
but not many new powers. Big picture is definitely the coolest one. I'm
could
curious
say
what
people.
exactly Ratcatcher does.
Same.
Yeah.
Only because she's just like, I can see small things. I'm like, okay. What do
Her
you
vibes
mean?
alone.
Like, what do you mean,
Ratcatcher.
though?
To do a cavity search.
Yeah, do a
Cavity search,
search.
yeah. Jesus.
The buxom woman with something in her bra. The one that one got me. It's like, all right.
And for that reason, Ratcatcher is my favorite.
Yes, all good characters.
No, I really like Crystal Clear. I mean, we know him already, but I think his power is really cool. And the whole, we didn't talk about it, but the whole, pulling the crystal out of his eye and like adjusting the eyelid so nothing's,
Yeah. Has a
gets
real
sliced
eye
open.
behind there.
Yeah, and it just kind of gets pushed out of the
Right.
way. I thought that was really cool. I liked the more nitty gritty of like how his, body works with all the crystals. I thought that was really neat.
Yeah.
I did like the description of him in the hospital, of like him wearing shorts, and she's like, Victoria's like, it's really weird to see a guy with a crystal head with just like normal hairy legs.
That was great. Yeah, that was really
I was
good.
like, yeah. All right. Well, we should wrap it up. That is the end.
Quickly, predictions. Any predictions?
Oh.
We just said Fallen, Problem.
Fallen
Uh,
problems. War is brewing, so that usually
Yeah,
means
Jesus.
war is coming.
Yeah.
Bernard wants to know if we had to choose who the most worrisome therapy group member is, who do you think it would be? I'm gonna go with Rain. Actually, I think the fact that he's being targeted,
most
not
pressing.
himself, he's definitely the most. He's like the weak point of this. Like, obviously, Ashley is
Yeah.
a villain, but
Yeah,
I'm getting
Chris
the fake
concerns
villain
me
vibes.
too.
Chris
but-
is just
Chris?
quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rain
Ashley is
for sure.
Ashley's like long-term problems. Like we're gonna run into this being an issue eventually. She's not leaving. anytime
Ashley's like the
soon.
fallen. We're like, we'll deal with Ashley.
Yeah, we'll deal with
later.
that in a second. But yeah, no, I agree. I think Rain is problematic if he's getting hunted, and the people that are helping hunt him are being helped by Tattletale. Like, that's problematic for sure.
You're fucked.
Yeah, not great. I predict
Or-
bad things will happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
There
No,
will be
gee.
conflict.
There will be conflict.
There will be blood.
All right.
love
With
it.
that, anything else? Any other predictions?
Tattletale's gonna be a bitch.
Tattletale's gonna be
I-
an absolute bitch.
I think that Tattletale, this is just an out there prediction. I think
Shoot.
Tattletale has become a couch potato. And she spent
like
so much time in front of her computer monitor. She's like she's still the super genius, but she's just got like an ill-fitting t-shirt with like Cheeto stains on it. Is her vibe that I get now.
It's the only way to stop the headaches.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's exactly.
The Cheetos. It's the puff Cheetos.
Cheetos.
She
yeah.
found out.
Cheeto
She used
puff.
her brain to figure out that's the only thing.
Yep.
Look,
Yep.
All right.
it makes sense.
Yeah. I'll read off the. So she's become Pigget, a
Yeah,
destroyer
so she's
of
becoming
wards.
Pigget, but with Tattletale.
On that note, to finish out the night, I'll read off our bingo sheet.
Yes.
We actually missed quite a few on this that I was surprised at, but that's
Mm.
fine. How old is Laser Dream? Bashing Shortcut, Sveta
Mhm.
Weld Squee, Pyjamas, Visceral Reaction to Brain Nail. What the fuck is
Pyjamas.
up with Chris? Yeah,
Yeah,
like
calls
right
them
away spells pajamas with a Y, the wrong way.
Oh, did he
A
really?
British-
Oh,
Like a British.
That's because he's Canadian, right?
funny.
Hey, do you
Freaking
not spell
Canadians.
pajamas with a Y? P.
That's funny.
No,
Like
see, you spell it that way 'cause you
PAJA.
grew up in Europe, Anna.
I was gonna say,
Americans spell
I-
it PA.
That's
That's
funny.
why I didn't notice it. That's why I
Yeah,
didn't
funny.
notice it.
Yeah, let me go park my car in my garage while I'm at it. Visceral reaction to
Ah,
brain
yeah.
nail. What the fuck is
Yeah.
up with Chris? Everyone loves Kenzie. Hannah
Mhm.
cries, which
I
I do
did cry.
count that.
Yep.
Hannah did cry.
I
if
cried
y'all didn't
twice.
put that down.
I cried twice in this podcast.
Yes.
I didn't
Yeah.
show it. I leaned back so you couldn't see my eyes glistening. I did wipe away tears.
I did.
Is when I was talking
Um,
about Victoria and her
Let's
body
see.
image.
Comparison between how Taylor and Victoria handle children. Rain is
Oh, we got
boring.
close.
Oh,
We did get close, but we didn't. Rain
You
is
really
boring. A cat on screen. There is a cat dangling his little beans
Oh.
right here, but he's not
So
on
gross.
screen. And it's
Can you-
terrible
can you
because right
tell-
before stream there was one just clawing the shit right here and then left
tell-
to go
can you
play
tilt,
toys.
please, so we can see beans.
Yeah,
know I can,
'cause
like, walk into the other
top's
room,
right
but-
here. No, I'm not. You got to get those beans one day. Let's see, cat on screen. Glowworm user confusion. Who is damsel of distress? Someone remembers who the fallen are. These fallen are gonna become a problem. And crystal clear's eyes.
Yes.
Yeah. Remember, you can submit some in our Ward Spoilers Discord if you join the Brockton Bay Book Club Discord by joining our Patreon.
Heck yeah.
$1 it gets you in $1 a month, and that goes to maintaining good quality products and like maybe better
and-
mics.
We do have higher tiers if you're feeling so generous, but
Yeah.
$1 is the minimum. Open to
Yes.
anybody.
Does that mean we have to listen to our favorite song now?
Oh
Yes, we
my
have to close it out.
gosh! Oh, close it out to our favorite
Close
song.
it out, Michael.
We'll see
All
you
right.
in 2 weeks with
See you on the
Arc
13th.
3. The
Yep.
Arc
13th.
3.
Let's go. Thanks for
Oh.
coming. I know I did.
Join the Patreon, please come on in, join the Patreon. Why don't you just join the Patreon? Come support us and join the Patreon. Please help us and join the Patreon. We have fun, join the Patreon. It's great, yeah, join the Patreon. Why don't you just join the Patreon? Come on.
Be a good puppy and become a patron. Your life will never be the same. A good boy.
Oh
Bangers.
my gosh.
That's just for you all.
Woo!
Sweet gift from
Spicy.
Hannah. Mm.
Farewell. 2 weeks.
See you soon. You guys are the best.
Good
night.
Best. We love you. Love
See
you.
ya.
Bye bye.